feels like you guys are constantly reacting.
Yeah, just they don't got people that could defend the rim, and if he is there, we still more athletic than them, and just got to be able to finish when we do.
Is there a discipline involved in just staying in that attack mode?
Yeah, you gotta.
Works.
Yeah, just sometimes you gotta know when to attack and when the right moments, and just if it's your time to shoot it or pass it. But either way, if you just break the paint, you're gonna have a shot, or someone else is gonna be open.
All the bad defenders quote after a Game 2 win is wild. How will Denver respond? Well, we're about to find out. And that brings us to tonight in Game 3 versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Nuggets are great on the road. Matter of fact, the Nuggets' road record in the regular season was the exact same as the Minnesota Timberwolves' home record in the regular season, 26-15. The 26 road win set a franchise record for the Nuggets. Game 4 will be in Minneapolis on Saturday. Today, the Denver Nuggets announced that not only is Peyton Watson out for tonight's game, but Aaron Gordon is out as well. So, for more on that, more in today's game, let's bring in the power and the passion that is the voice of the Nuggets, Jason Kosmiski. And joining us from Altitude Television, he's known for Coast to Coast like butter and toast, it's the great ghost, Scott Hastings. Kaz!
Bert, my man, for decades now, you've been calling Minneapolis the frozen wasteland.
Yeah.
Where did this hate come from? Is that like a hockey thing, or how did we get to this point?
Yeah, it started with hockey. It started with a little Avs rivalry. But I mean, am I wrong? I mean, is there another state in the union that we can call a frozen wasteland other than Minneapolis and Minnesota?
North Dakota.
You know what? Yeah. Well, I mean, there's no NBA teams there, dingus. Yeah. I appreciate it. I mean, you have as much hate for Minnesota as I do for Salt Lake City.
That is true. Yes,
to each their own.
Yes,
so God bless you.
Scotty, do you have some hate in your heart somewhere? How about this?
I would tell you this, being honest.
Memphis after this year?
Minnesota's up there as far as a rivalry type team.
Oh.
As far as a rivalry, I can't stand Minnesota.
Yeah.
As far as hotels, Memphis does. I mean, I don't like to agree with LeBron very often, but as far as hotel goes, Memphis.
Yeah, Bert. If you want to make $1 million, put in a really nice hotel in Memphis,
Yeah,
man.
absolutely.
And then, of course, as soon as they do that, they move to Nashville.
Yeah,
Then
no kidding,
you're
right?
out
crazy.
a bunch of money.
All right, gentlemen. You know what? I do want to talk about the game, but before we do that, I would like to address the comments of Jaden McDaniels because, I mean, Scotty, obviously, you played a long time in the league. Can you imagine saying something like that after a playoff game? Do you like the swagger, or are you poking the bear with those kind of comments?
Well, as I'm probably more on Charles Barkley's side. I've not seen many people do that in the middle of a series, and it works. So I don't think it was wise. But that being said, he says it, and then all of a sudden one of your heart and soul guys, Aaron Gordon's not playing tonight. Mm-hmm. One of your tough guys on the team not playing tonight. An athletic guy that would fill in for him not playing tonight. It puts pressure on them to step out and prove what he said, and it puts pressure on Denver to say, prove them wrong. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're going to find out here in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, but here's my thing, is Bert, and me and Scotty are both not huge stats guys. He's better than I am. But after those comments, you dive down, and if you look at pure defensive rating in the playoffs, mm-hmm. whatever the hell that means, we're talking quantitative analysis and algorithms and all that stuff. Denver is technically the seventh best pure defensive team in the playoffs this year, and Minnesota is number 11, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I thought it was interesting. I think it's fun, I mean, like you and I have talked about a million times, Bert, I love hate in sports, and I mean that in the most positive way, right? Mm-hmm. Let's get this thing going. I'm kind of excited about it.
Yeah, do you think, because it feels like Jay McDaniels wasn't just challenging the Nuggets defensively, he was questioning almost when you're calling players out by name, how do you think, How do you guys think how do you think the Nuggets responded to that? Because they both talked about it yesterday and today, and how it feels like sometimes some of the Timberwolves, it seems, are like, man, I don't. I don't know if he should have said.
That's all Hastings right there.
All right, Scotty, what do you think?
My experience of playing in the NBA, Bert. Yeah. Go ahead, Scotty.
No. I'll tell you this: if it was 1988, then here's what would happen. Hey, who's guarding McDaniels tonight?
How's your elbow?
Hey, Spencer. Spencer, first time he gets on the wing, drive him to the paint and let him go. And then you put him in the first row.
Right.
That's 80s basketball. Now you can't do this, but you got to touch him all the time. You got to have an elbow on him, a forearm on him, a hand on him. You got to get to the point where, it's like that the cousin you told me that you have, Kaz, that you don't like. Because every time he comes in, he goes, Cousin Kaz, Cousin Kaz.
And he keeps tapping your shoulder.
Cousin
you
Kaz,
want to smack him right in the forehead.
And you've got to be that type of an irritant, because when I played with Bill Lambier knocked the crud out of everybody, but he wasn't tough. He wasn't going to fight nobody. He couldn't fight, but he wanted to get you mentally off your game. Mm-hmm. I don't know if anybody in Denver understands that or is willing to do that. But I would do everything I could to throw him off his game and irritate the hell out of him.
Well, and the other thing, too, especially when it comes to this player, I mean, I don't know why we're spending time on Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He's a nice player.
I mean, you got Anthony Edwards out here, you got Jokic, you got Murray, but whatever. But, the way he's played, Bert, is like he gets that basketball in the corner, and he loves to drive baseline. That's what he does. And maybe this is what he's getting at, because Denver's let him go a bunch on the baseline. And so the Nuggets he's a driver. He really is. I mean, he'll take threes, but he's mainly a driver. And what you got to do is you got to get in front of him and take away his real estate. And Denver really hasn't done a very good job at that.
And here, I guarantee you, and listen, we know Chris Finch-Wells. I think I said on the radio show this week also, you and I have had beers with Chris Finch.
Oh, for sure.
When he was coaching here.
Tens of times.
He's smart, and I promise you, listen, everybody goes, Joker, why did he play defense? Guess what Joker's never been? A rim protector.
Right.
When it's advantage Joker, when someone drives the lane, it's when what? They try to pass the ball, think they can be clever, and pass it around him.
Right.
What does he do? Knocks it, deflects it, gets a steal, whatever. That game, you and I called it, every guy, there was no extra pass. There was not going to be an extra pass, and I guarantee you that was direction from the sideline. Listen, he's not going to block shots, or if he does, that's just one. In fact, he blocked Rudy late once, but then Rudy got him once too. You got to drive in and take it. Don't make the extra pass. That's where you let him back into the game.
We talked about so much about the quote and him calling out the defense, but did the Nuggets lose game 2 because of their defense or because of their offense at the end of that thing?
That's a great question, Bert. And here's what I'll say, Scotty, is that I don't know what it was. I mean, obviously, we know, second chance points and the rebounding and all that, Bert. But I just go back to, like, the very basic stuff. When you have a lead at home halfway through the fourth quarter in a playoff game,
Got to win it.
You got to win the damn thing. Win the game. And so whatever led to that is not excusable. So, that's where we are right now.
Yeah, I would say this, Bert. Joker and Murray, I think, were 2 of 13, something like that, in the fourth quarter. If they're 4 of 13, they win the game.
Right.
So that's still not very good, but you win the game. They were, and Kaz and I kept talking about in the broadcast, they were 20-3 on second chance points.
Yeah.
And what people don't realize is defense doesn't stop till you get the rebound.
Yes, exactly that.
Once you get that rebound, because what they did, Kaz, they played great defense for 20 seconds, 22 seconds. 10, they gave up 14 offensive rebounds, 14 times. They got them down.
The thing is they got slaughtered in that stat, Bert.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? It's okay to get beat in any statistical category, but you don't want to get hammered in any category. You want to be close to everything, because if the Nuggets would have been close to everything, they would have won that game going away. But now you got to. I mean, it would have been huge if the Nuggets would have been up 2-0 heading into game number 3. But now you got a fight on your hands. You have 3 opportunities. Hopefully you get 3 opportunities to win one game in Minnesota. And we'll see what happens here tonight in Minneapolis.
We obviously the Nuggets have experienced not having Aaron Gordon in the lineup for a lot of this season. He played just 36 games in the regular season. So I guess who steps up? Who has to up their game tonight with both Aaron and Peyton out of the lineup?
Well, I mean, you start with Spencer Jones, right, Scott? I mean, this is what you're down to, and Spencer started so many games this year. He began the season as a G League player, as we all know, 2-way contract, signed a full contract with the Denver Nuggets. But let's be honest, the Denvers are a little shy of power forwards. I mean, after Spencer, you're going down to Zeke Naji.
Who hasn't played yet.
But the thing is, though, Scotty, is Spencer doesn't got to win the game for you.
Nope.
He just can't hurt you. And I don't think he's I don't think he's a player that is I might screw this team up kind of a guy. You know what I mean?
No, listen, he's had moments, and he's played well with the better guys because guess what? He doesn't have to do as much. He has to go up, play defense, get the rebounds when they're available, and get out on the break and make it tough for whoever he's guarding. It's a simple position. Less responsibility than when Aaron's in the game. That being said, that puts more responsibility on Jamal and Joker to have big games tonight.
I'm interested.
Hey,
yeah.
by the way, yeah. Bert, anybody worried about Scott Foster? Because I'm not. I think he's a really good rep.
I think he's a really good rep, too. But he's twitchy, man.
However, Scotty
goes. Go ahead, Scotty. Yeah. What? Yeah.
Well, D-Mac threw a stat out there today that Denver's like minus 75 or something like that.
Oh, really?
In games he's ref for Denver the last few years, they're like minus 7 in points scored.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I mean,
but again, he did Game 7 last year against OKC, and I think you lost by 34.
Yeah, you got trounced.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, he's going to throw somebody out of this game tonight, is he not? Because he is.
Well, here's the thing with him is like he's a good official. But unlike Bill Kennedy and maybe other than Bill Kennedy, he gets emotional.
Yeah.
And once he starts taking it personal, I mean, you just hope it's not your team that's happening to. You know what I mean?
If you got a ref coming in that needs a mirror in the locker room so he can see himself, you might be in trouble.
Does 60 free throws?
Oh my God, we're complaining about officiating. 20 minutes before the national anthem.
I'm not the one who brought up Scott Foster. That wasn't me.
You did.
I did too.
Well, I mean, there's been a lot of noise on social media, and what's funny to me, Berto, is that it's not just from Denver. Like Minnesota's saying the exact same thing.
I'll say this. I just have a feeling officiating's not going to be a reason.
I agree.
Pro or con for this game tonight.
Yeah. All right. How about the keys to the contest?
Couple of them for me, Bert, then Scotty can jump in. Second chance points, we already talked about. Denver outscored 20-3 in that department last time out. That cannot happen. You may not win that category, but you got to be a hell of a lot closer than that. Points in the paint, Denver gets outscored 42-40. Denver's got to start controlling the glass, and this just isn't on the big fellas. The guards and the wings, they got to crash the boards as well. I know Denver likes to get out and run, Scotty, but they got to, like you said, defense doesn't end until you get the rebound.
No, exactly right. Your two stars have to be stars tonight, plus. And you need Cam Johnson and probably Tim Hardaway. They have to be really good from three. They need somebody tonight who's a knockdown three-point guy. You can't have Cam Johnson start 0 for 4 from the three-point line, or Tim starting 1 for 5. They got to make shots because they're going to be open.
Berto, make it a fourth quarter game. Find a way to execute and get lucky and win game number 3.
And win number 27 on the road this year.
Yes, sir.
All right, gentlemen, as always.
You the man.
Good job. That was Kaz and Scotty. Head on over to number 38 on Saturday for the next stop on the Altitude Sports Radio Playoff Viewing Party Tour powered by Michelob Ultra. Watch Game 4 with D-Mac. Say hi to Berto. That's me. Win awesome prizes and root on the Nuggets to see a victory there at number 38. See you at number 38 on Saturday at 6:30. Your pregame show is sponsored by Ramos Law. Car accident, you need Ramos Law. Medical doctor and attorney. Go to ramoslaw.com. We'll be right back on the Altitude Sports Radio Network.
Denver Nuggets basketball. Nuggets pregame on the Altitude Sports Radio Network.
Saturday, it's Game 4 for the Nuggets and Timberwolves. And the Altitude Sports Radio Viewing Party Tour rolls on. Presented by Michelob Ultra, Superior Light Beer. Next up, number 38 in Rhino. Berto kicks off the party with the pregame live at 6. D-Mac will be on hand with your shot at autographed Nuggets memorabilia.
Hold my beer for a second.
Join the party and cheer on the Nuggets on the Altitude Sports Radio Viewing Party Tour at number 38 in Rhino with Altitude Sports Radio 92.5.
Nuggets Nation, let's go! Jerseys are on, laces are tied. The Nuggets are ready for tonight's game. Are you? Don't drop the ball. Choose aluminum for your favorite beverage. This is your aluminum assist. Let's go all in for the Nuggets.
Alley-oop. Dog, 2 hands.
All in for aluminum.
That's clean living right there.
Ball, all in.
Discover incredible savings at the Mountain High Appliance Clearance Center in Denver. I'm Brad Barnett, president of Mountain High Appliance. Our clearance center offers a huge selection of ranges, refrigerators, laundry, and more. Save up to 60% on open box, scratch and dent, display models, and overstocked appliances from Bosch, Thermador, KitchenAid, and many more. When you're looking for great deals on appliances, our clearance center is your go-to destination for the best prices and selection.
Mountain High Appliance, your favorite appliance store.
Thank you.
Style and substance. That's GMC Sierra. We are professional grade. Well-qualified lessees get a 24-month ultra-low mileage lease for around $349 per month with $49.89 due at signing on a 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation Crew Cab with a 5.3-liter V8 engine. See your Colorado GMC dealers. Tax, title, license, dealer fees extra. No security deposit required. Your payments may vary. Mileage charge of 25 cents per mile over 20,000 miles and participating dealers only. Visit gmcofferinfo.com for details.
If you could design healthcare from scratch, you want to build a system where doctors, pharmacists, and insurers don't work together, don't talk to each other, and don't even share records. You'd imagine something better, where everyone worked together on the same team, and your next doctor visit isn't across town, but often right down the hall. What if a place like this already existed? At Kaiser Permanente, all of your healthcare comes together to keep you healthier and make life easier. Kaiser Permanente. A better idea for healthcare.
Pacific Office Automation is the one source for all of your business technology. Let us help you create your total office solution with copiers and printers, security systems and cameras, managed IT and cloud services, complete conference room packages, unified communications and telephones, including carrier services, plus temperature sensing kiosks and more. The one source for all your office technology solutions. Go to pacificoffice.com. Pacific Office Automation. Problem solved.
This is your Denver Nuggets pregame show on the Altitude Sports Radio Network. Brought to you by Ramos Law. Visit ramoslaw.com.
Pregame show sponsored by Ramos Law. Car accident, you need Ramos Law. Medical doctor and attorney, go to ramoslaw.com. Welcome back. It's time right now to hear from the head coach. Here is David Adelman.
When did Aaron start experiencing the calf tightness, and I guess what's the latest on his availability?
I mean, it was after the game. We were waiting to see how he was going to react to it. You don't practice hard in between these games, so it was more of a walk-through prep kind of situation, which he was a part of. And today there wasn't much improvement, so he's out. I can't tell the future, so I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring.
Does it help at all? You guys have been in this position all year long. At least maybe you have some idea of how to handle this?
I have no idea. It just seems like it's just happened so many times. I think the guys know that it's just game 3 of the playoffs. So you just get ready to play. I mean, this is a big game for our team, trying to bounce back from game 2. Unfortunately, Aaron won't be a part of that. Obviously with Peyton out too, it means that a bunch of different guys have to step up and maybe have to do things they're not comfortable doing. That's the bottom line. So we prepared this morning with Aaron playing and not playing. You go through all those iterations, all the walkthrough kind of things. But obviously it's a downer, but it's over. He's not playing. So the guys that are prepared to win.
the one thing with all the injuries you have dealt with, you've brought Zeke Naji in, you brought Spencer in to get bigger minutes.
Yep.
Other Strother and other guys like that. I'm expecting probably those guys will maybe get the 4 tonight.
Yeah, and it's also just you got to look at the combinations and how they work throughout the season. Who played well with who. Not to mention the matchup issues. With Naj Reid, whoever it may be, you have to make sure that you're giving your guys a fair chance. So we looked at all that. We talked about it. But to your point, we've had confidence in these guys throughout the season. They're the reason why we are where we are. And why we got to 54 wins was because of the guys off the bench that kept our season afloat. So these guys have played in games that were really meaningful in the middle of the season when it felt like everything was kind of falling apart. Those felt like playoff games to us, trying to find ways to win on the road, beat some good teams during those situations. So extreme confidence in these guys to step up in a big moment.
The game you guys still had a chance to win, game 2, was right down to the stretch, and yet there were certain areas you could have improved on. What are a couple of those you've earmarked for this game?
Rebound the ball. I mean, that was the whole game. We had a great first quarter. They had a great second quarter. They were very similar quarters. They went to the line a lot in the second. We did in the first. The second half, was an even ball game. There was no excuses to not rebound, especially when I thought we really sat down and guarded, flew around. Guys have to understand that the play's not over. And sometimes smaller players against a team like this, you have to deal with a bigger guy. You have to take him on. If that leads to a couple of fouls, it leads to a couple of fouls. But we can't allow just put back layups like we did late in that game. It just killed us. And then unfortunately we didn't shoot the ball well on top of it, in that fourth quarter.
Just do you feel inclined to go with Spencer basically to start, or you've gone to Cam at the 4 already in this series a bit like Cam? Is that something that you've given thought to maybe?
Yeah, we've talked about both scenarios. I'm going to go back, talk to the staff again. This has all happened very fast. It's a fluid thing, so confident either way. Cam has battled at the 4. Spence has stepped into some really tough situations and played well. Obviously, both guys will play, and the majority of the minutes will go to those 2 guys at the 4. But to Scott's earlier point, Zeke stepped in, in the middle of the season back in that East Coast trip, won us a few games, his activity, his energy. So there's a lot of places we can go, and I'll definitely be willing to experiment, even though it's a playoff game. You can't plan for this stuff, so you go off feel, and you go off trust, and you go from there.
Just to be clear, I know you said you can't see the future, but it is just like a tightness thing to where it's feasible that he could play in a game 4.
I have no idea, to be honest. They told me he's not playing, and I immediately started to think about the guys that are. So I think tomorrow will be more of an honest conversation after treatment tonight. Treatment in the morning. We have the day, in Minnesota to get together, make sure that we're all on the same page, to prepare for game 4.
I know not having Aaron changes things, generally speaking, but when you look at what you want to see differently with the offense in this game, what does that look like?
I mean, more of the same in the sense of we've really taken care of the ball. I thought, it's crazy to say this, but our transition offense, we had 21 fast break points, but I thought we should have had 30. We screwed up some really good opportunities off our defensive rebounding when it was, we were doing a decent job, not late, obviously, but throughout the game. So shot quality to me is important, and I thought we got good looks. We haven't shot it great either game. And then obviously in the fourth quarter, our 2 best players, you get them the ball, you get them touches. I know they were both frustrated, with the shooting numbers in the fourth. But if your 2 best players are taking those shots, you're in the game, those are good things for us. So I do think we're due. Everybody knows how well we shot the ball this year from the free throw line, 2, 3. It hasn't mattered. Yeah, I'm confident that we can turn that around. But the biggest thing for me in this building is we have to take care of the ball. It's just that's what they do here. They feed off it. The crowd will be excited. So if we can do that, we can control pace a little bit. That gives us a great chance to win the game.
David, in the regular season, Spencer had the experiences of guarding, guys like Shea and Luka in the clutch moments in close games. Even if maybe they didn't go his way, how valuable are those experiences?
Yeah, they're huge. And I think the groups that played together at the end of those games were so random because we had different people playing in important positions. We've had all these iterations of Peyton Watson at the end, Spencer at the end, Aaron at the end, just different people. And those experiences, whether they're positive or negative, I mean, they're so valuable because the guy goes through it. He understands. I remember the DeRozan, early in the season with Sacramento. These are all learning lessons for a young guy that hasn't played in those moments, but has the ability to be in those moments. So I trust Spence. It's been a growing process for him throughout the season. And you guys know how it is in life. Like this just happened. So if he does start, if I go that way, he's had a lot of, opportunities like this season where he wakes up one morning and has no idea he's going to play, and all of a sudden he starts and plays 35 minutes. So that's who we've been this year, and the guys have been mature about it, and I would, accept their approach is going to be good. And they were good this morning. I think they're excited to play.
That was head coach David Adelman. Nugget fans, test your knowledge with playoff trivia for a chance to win exclusive merchandise. Visit nuggets.media/playoff trivia to play and enter now. Your pregame show is sponsored by Ramos Law. Car accident, you need Ramos Law, medical doctor and attorney. Go to ramoslaw.com. We'll be right back on the Altitude Sports Radio Network.
Your business doesn't stop, and neither does Ford. Right now at Phil Long Ford of Denver's Commercial Vehicle Center, pre-order your 2027 Transit, Super Duty, or Expedition today and secure the latest in built Ford tough technology and capability. Or if you need your vehicle right now, save on our remaining 25 and 26 models in stock ready for immediate delivery. For America's best-selling commercial vehicles from the best dealer, come visit us at Phil Long Ford of Denver's Commercial Vehicle Center on Wadsworth, just south of Hamden, or online anytime at phillongdenver.com.
Hey, sports fans, Vic Lombardi here alongside the legendary queen of chicken, Terry Lombardi.
Please don't call me that.
Oh, we're here to remind you haven't tried real chicken until you've tried Redbird Farms chicken. Ain't that right, queen of chicken?
Don't call me that.
Find them at King Super, Safeway, and City Market. Redbird Farms chicken, because you can't put a price on great taste. Ain't that right, my queen?
It's delicious, Vic. Just run the jingle.
Grill it, fry it, put it in parm. As long as you make it Redbird Farms.
Your team, your gear, and now your all-new store. The all-new ShopNuggets.com has everything a true fan could want. Wow! From the latest jerseys and hoodies to exclusive collectibles you won't find anywhere else.
That's a mic drop right there, bro.
Suit up for game day, gift the gear, or show off your Nuggets pride all year long.
Get yourself some!
Check out the fresh new lineup today at ShopNuggets.com, the official home for all things Denver Nuggets.
Big things are happening. Citywide Banks is now UMB Bank. It's more than a name change, because UMB is more committed than ever. More committed to helping you and the community we share grow stronger together. Not with shortcuts, but with conversations. Not with gimmicks, but with guidance. For local relationships and national know-how, count on more with UMB. Member FDIC.
From the street, your home siding is about style. From close up, it's about protection. Especially in Colorado, where wildfire risk is part of the conversation. At Bellwether Windows, Siding and Doors, we install siding as part of a complete system built to help resist fire, manage heat, and protect what's inside. Your home will look incredible, but more importantly, it will be ready for anything Colorado can dish out. Bellwether Windows, Siding and Doors. Transforming how your home looks, feels, and performs. Visit bellwetherhomes.com.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope. It's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
This is your Denver Nuggets pregame show on the Altitude Sports Radio Network. Brought to you by Ramos Law. Visit ramoslaw.com.
This broadcast of Nuggets basketball is brought to you by Intermountain Healthcare, helping people live the healthiest lives possible. Welcome back as we get you set for Game 3 between the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. Excuse me. We will get to all the scores around the world of sports coming up here, but your upcoming schedule for the Nuggets, obviously Game 3 tonight. Game 4 is Saturday there in Minneapolis, and then they'll have Sunday off to return back to the Mile High City. Game 5 on Monday here in Denver. Game 6, if needed, will be back in Minneapolis on Thursday. So that's what the upcoming schedule looks like for your Denver Nuggets. All right, scores around the NBA playoffs. We got NBA playoffs tonight. We got NHL playoffs. We got a pretty drunk NFL draft. The NFL draft is kind of going crazy. Like the first 5 selections were pretty normal, but we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades. We're at pick number 15. So we'll get to it. Also, the LA Rams just made a crazy selection. They selected Ty Simpson from Alabama at number 13. Fernando Mendoza goes number 1 to Vegas, and Ty Simpson goes number 13 to the LA Rams. So we'll break it all down for you. But in the NBA playoffs tonight, there's 2 other playoff games. They're both going on right now. Knicks and Hawks are into it. This game is going to come down to it. This series is tied up at a game apiece after CJ went off in game number 2 and Hawks evened it up. Right now, with 3:07 to go in the game, Atlanta leads it 101-99 over New York. They're looking to take it 2 games in 1 series lead. Jalen Johnson's got 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. Karl-Anthony Towns, 21 points and 16 rebounds for the Knicks. But, yeah, the final couple of minutes, and this thing was within a bucket. The Raptors and Cavs is pretty close as well. They're in Toronto playing game number 3. Cleveland leads this series 2-0. Right now, the Raptors have a 65-60 lead over Cleveland. Scotty Barnes has got 25 points for Toronto in the contest. Nugget fans, go to Ball Arena early for Base Camp 5280, the official playoff fan zone. Watch on a 20-foot screen. Enjoy food, drinks, giveaways, and more. Entry is free with a Base Camp pass. Get yours at nuggets.com/playoffs. We will roll on with your Denver Nugget pregame show after a quick timeout right here on the Altitude Sports Radio Network.
This is your Denver Nuggets pregame show on the Altitude Sports Radio Network. Brought to you by Ramos Law. Visit ramoslaw.com.
Hey, Denver, it's Brett Kane, and playoff time in the Mile High City is here. The heat is picking up, and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your teams. Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation. It's easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside, official partner of the Denver Nuggets and Colorado Avalanche. Sold in arena and at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
The biggest savings of the year from the oldest family-owned Toyota dealership in the Denver Metro. Groove Toyota. Limited time. During the over and above sales event, 53 pre-owned vehicles under 15 grand. Visit GrooveToyota.com to see the selection. Don't wait. Find your groove with pre-owned vehicles under 15 grand at GrooveToyota.com. Start here, go anywhere.
Offer expires 5/4/26. Not all will qualify. Restrictions apply. With approved credit, call 720-961-4465 for complete details.
This song doesn't have a name, but if it did, it'd probably be something about togetherness, because it's a collaboration, not between pop stars and producers, but between music therapists and kids. Music therapy is a treatment that doesn't involve medication or needles, and it's been proven to help children manage pain and contribute to faster healing. So it shouldn't surprise you, it's our favorite song. And just one way we partner with you for a life well lived. Intermountain Health, the power of we.
There's a difference between flash and fundamentals. Aaron Gordon and Nikola Jokic do the little things. And that's exactly what 361 basketball shoes are built for. The HE6 and Joker 2 signature shoes are inspired by the game's best, built for stability, control, and real performance. No hype, just results. From pickup runs to game night, bring that winning mindset to your game. Find 361 at the Ball Arena team store during home games or anytime at 361USA.com.
Spring is in the air at Century Casino Central City. Join us every weekend and show me the bunny. Win $100 free play 3 times per hour in our progressive drawings. Join us on Fridays and earn a gift of the week. Spring is the theme. Take I-70 to exit 243 Central City Parkway. Century Casino Central City. Welcome to the winner's zone. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
Thinking about upgrading your kitchen or bathroom, but worried about the cost or hassle? Hi, this is Courtney with Buy and Build Kitchen and Bath. We make it easier, faster, and more cost-effective than ever. From stunning new cabinets to our brand new countertop program, we can help you transform your space without stretching your budget. Here's the difference. We now offer half slabs and third slabs in quartz, marble, and granite, so you only pay for what you need. This means less waste, faster installation, and real savings for you. Buy and Build delivers quality, value, and craftsmanship you can trust. Visit our showroom at 560 South Lipan or at buyandbuild.net.
This is your Denver Nuggets pregame show on the Altitude Sports Radio Network. Brought to you by Ramos Law. Visit ramoslaw.com.
Welcome back to your Denver Nugget pregame show as we wrap things up right before tip-off of Game 3 between the Nuggets and the Timberwolves there in Minneapolis. One quick note in the NBA, the Knicks just got scorching hot in the final 60 seconds, and they have taken the lead over the Hawks. The Knicks now lead the Hawks 108-107. This is the Knicks' first lead of the game since early in the first quarter, and Atlanta has no answer. The Knicks just keep scoring. So we'll see if Atlanta will have a last second. There's 29 seconds to go. Knicks up 1. So we'll see how Atlanta handles it. And the Raptors still have a 1-point lead over the Cavs. It's 67-66 Toronto. Over in the NHL playoffs, the Colorado Avalanche play tonight, but not for a little bit longer. It's still about 30 minutes away from tip-off as the Avs take on the Kings in Game 3 in L.A., as the Avs lead that series 2-0. Right now, Sabres are on top of the Bruins, 3-1. That game's seconds from being over, so Buffalo's going to take a 2-1 series lead over Boston. The Hurricanes lead the Senators 2-1. They're in the third in that one. Carolina leads that series 2-0, so Otto really needs to come back and get the win. And in the NFL draft, Fernando Mendoza went number 1 to Vegas. The Jets selected David Bailey at number 2, and Jeremiah Love went number 3 to the Cards. The Chiefs traded up 3 spots to number 6 to take Mansour, the corner from LSU. The Cowboys moved up to take Caleb Downs, the safety out of Ohio State, at number 11. The Rams moved up to moved down to number 13, right? And selected Ty Simpson, the quarterback, Alabama. So they got it back up to Matt Stafford as they picked Simpson in that one. But so that's what the NFL draft is looking like right now. It's so far it's kind of crazy. In Major League Baseball, the Rockies lost today. The Padres got them 10-8 over at Coors Field. But it's time right now to get it on. It's the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves in game number 3. Tip-off next right here on the Altitude Sports Radio Network.
Come on, boys. Come on. Here we go. Go, baby. No fear.
From the street, your home siding is about style. From close up, it's about protection. Especially in Colorado, where wildfire risk is part of the conversation. At Bellwether Windows, Siding, and Doors, we install siding as part of a complete system built to help resist fire, manage heat, and protect what's inside. Your home will look incredible, but more importantly, it will be ready for anything Colorado can dish out. Bellwether Windows, Siding, and Doors. Transforming how your home looks, feels, and performs. Visit bellwetherhomes.com.
Unlock the savings at Boost Mobile and save up to $600 a year. I've been scouting these big carriers for a minute now, and I've seen them pull the same play 1,000 times. They promise you the world, then hit you with a price hike right when the game gets tight. But Boost Mobile, their $25 a month unlimited wireless plan is the most consistent player on the floor. No contracts, no price hikes. Unlock the savings today at boostmobile.com/unlock. Based on average annual single line payment of AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile customers compared to 12 months of the Boost Mobile unlimited wireless plan as of January 2026. For full offer details, visit boostmobile.com.
In this playoff basketball, you got to do a little bit of everything.
The intensity levels are at an all-time high. These are the NBA playoffs. Every team looking to make a run.
This is incredible.
Every player looking to make history.
Give me all you got. Let's go.
So tune in because this is going to be unbelievable.
This is exactly what we want.
The NBA playoffs presented by Google continue on ABC, ESPN, NBC, Peacock, and Prime.
Discover incredible savings at the Mountain High Appliance Clearance Center in Denver. I'm Brad Barnett, president of Mountain High Appliance. Our clearance center offers a huge selection of ranges, refrigerators, laundry, and more. Save up to 60% on open box, scratch and dent, display models, and overstocked appliances from Bosch, Thermador, KitchenAid, and many more. When you're looking for great deals on appliances, our clearance center is your go-to destination for the best prices and selection.
Mountain High Appliance, your favorite appliance store.
Thank you.
I've never put much stock in astrology, but with the new multiplier scratch, the stars are aligned for some pretty big prizes. Because no matter your moon sign or what Mercury's up to, your win can get multiplied up to 200 times, with prizes up to $1 million, which could steer your life into a very interesting new phase. New multiplier scratch from the Colorado Lottery. Multiply your win up to 200 times. Must be 18 to play.
Big things are happening. Citywide Banks is now UMB Bank. It's more than a name change. Because UMB is more committed than ever. More committed to helping you and the community we share grow stronger together. Not with shortcuts, but with conversations. Not with gimmicks, but with guidance. For local relationships and national know-how, count on more with UMB. Member FDIC.
The Altitude Sports Radio Network welcomes you to Mile High Playoff Basketball. Tuesday night after Game 2, Jaden McDaniels called out the Nuggets' defensive play. He called his shot. Now it's time to answer the bell. Let's go Nuggets.
Murray goes to the right hand, stutter step in a drive. Got it, and the foul as well. Inbound goes over to Murray from half court. Got it! He did it again! Throws it on the right side to Jokic for three. Yes! That a boy, Joker! That's what you do! That's exactly what you do!
It's Denver and Minnesota. Game 3 now. From Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota, with Scott Hastings, here's the voice of the Nuggets, Jason Kosmiski.
Now we go! Now we go!
On the Altitude Sports Radio Network.
Greetings, Nuggets fans, far and wide. Along with Nuggets legend Scott Hastings to my left, Mark Bertinoli in the NBA Tonight studios. I am Jason Kosmiski, coming to you live from the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and this is Nuggets basketball. Tonight's opening tip-off is brought to you by Century Casino. Find the hottest slots and electronic table game action at Century Casino and Hotel. Just 1 mile from Blackhawk and scenic walkable Central City. Welcome to the Winter Zone. Nuggets and Timberwolves tonight, game number 3. It's loud in here, folks, but that's fake news. I think they just pumped sound into this building here to make it look like they're really yelling. It'll be the Denver Nuggets in the all-whites tonight and the Minnesota Timberwolves in the all-blacks. And it'll be Jokic and Gobert at the midcourt circle to tip off game number 3. Gobert's won the first 2 tips here in the playoff series. Tap is controlled by the Minnesota Timberwolves. And they will move it left to right. Here comes Anthony Edwards. Edwards has it left side of the midcourt circle, throws it on the high left side over to Gobert. Top of the key, DiVincenzo. Inside the arc over to Randall. Randall working against Spencer Jones. Turnaround jump shots on the way, no good. Rebound comes down to Jokic. Jokic quickly up the floor. He goes right down the heart of the defense, gets fouled. No whistle, jump shot no good. Rebound down to Brown. Back over to Jokic. Jump shot for 3 won't go. Rebound poked out and grabbed by Anthony Edwards. Edwards has it down the lane. Jump shots on the way and no good. Jones taps it out. Right over to McDaniels. Left side now is Edwards and a long 2. Jumper's no good. Rebound swirls out. Comes out over to Jokic. In the front court over to Christian Brown. Nuggets got to sustain the opening 5 minutes here because this crowd is pumped up. And so is their in-arena speaker system. Inside the arc is Jokic. He goes to the left hand. Gets down the lane. Little floaters on the way. No good. Joker's 0 for 2. Outlet pass off over to Anthony Edwards. Edwards has it at the point. He's guarded out there by Christian Brown. Right side to DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo over to Gobert. Gobert has it behind the three-point line. Hands it off over to Randall for 3. Jumper's no good again. Rebound down to Jamal Murray this time. It's his first touch on the offensive end. Murray shovel pass behind him over to Jokic. Jokic goes to the right hand, loses the basketball and turns it over. McDaniels has it, dunk, good. And a foul as well on Denver.
Yeah, a silly foul at the end of that. That's an automatic 2-on-1 lob, and Cam Johnson just comes in late to foul McDaniels.
So that'll be an and one free throw coming up here from McDaniels. And don't you think that's right, Scotty? Is like, I mean, they're going to come out all fired up. So you just got to kind of fight through the first 5 minutes or so.
Well, you see the play. Joker got fouled on that first layup, no call. Missed a couple of easy shots, and now, a turnover, and boom, here we go.
3-point play converted by McDaniels. High left side is Jokic and a 3. Jumper's no good again. He's 0 for 3. 0 for 4, I beg your pardon. Here comes Julius Randle the other way. Right side, he throws it off over to Edwards. Edwards puts it on the floor. He's at the wing, gets double teamed, throws out of it over to Randle. Left side, DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo guarded by Christian Brown. Back over to Randle. He loses it. He picks up the loose ball back with a short clock. He'll take a 3. Jumper's no good. Rebound tipped by Murray, grabbed by Gobert. DiVincenzo put back 3. That one's no good. Rebound down to McDaniels. Putback is up and in.
Murray's guarding McDaniels, and that's 2 offensive rebounds for McDaniels. David Adelman said little guys have got to do their work against bigs.
Murray has it at the point. Whistle and a foul away from the play. That one's going to be on McDaniels. And that'll be Minnesota basketball on the side here. And Spencer Jones will look in. Inbound goes on top over to Jokic. Jokic dribble handoff over to Murray. Murray has it at the nail. Back over to Jokic. He'll try it again for 3. Jumper's no good again. He's 0 for 5.
Just rolling out. 5 shots. 3 of them are 3s.
High left side is Edwards. Edwards stopped there by Cam Johnson. Throws it on top to Randle. Spin move in the paint. Throws it down in the corner over to McDaniels. He likes to drive baseline. McDaniels has it. Throws back behind him over to Edwards and a 3. Jumper's no good. Rebound tipped and then grabbed by Cam Johnson. Outlet pass off over to Jokic. Jokic has it up the right sideline over to Cam Johnson. Johnson has it back off over to Jokic. Nuggets yet to score in the game. We've played over 3 minutes. Jokic goes to the right hand, gets down the lane. Jump shot blocked by Gobert and out of bounds. 0 for 6.
Not getting a lot of clean lane.
Inbound. Nobody other than Joker's taking a shot here. Murray has it, fakes a pass, bank shots up and in, and Denver's on the board. And they start the game 0 for 6, all Joker's shots, but yet they're only down by 3. DiVincenzo back behind him over to Anthony Edwards. Edwards has it on the high right side. Stutter step and a drive, shoves Murray out of the way, jump shots up and in.
Well, they're calling for that switch. They did that late to put Murray on Ant.
7-2, Denver's down a nickel. Jokic has it at the point. Left side now over to Jamal Murray. Murray has it against DiVincenzo. He goes to the left hand. In the paint over to Christian Brown. Dribbles through traffic. Back over to Jamal Murray. Murray brings it back out over to the point. Peels off to the right side. Floater got fouled. No whistle. Oh, there is a whistle. That it should be free throws coming up here for Jamal Murray.
Well, Ant's saying he wants a challenge. I thought there was contact on the body.
Well, I mean, I hope they challenge that.
They are going to challenge.
Well, they're going to lose that. They're going to lose that on the follow-through of Anthony Edwards. And if that holds true, that would be awesome because then Minnesota will be out of challenges for the rest of the night. We're back in a moment.
Timeout's been called to challenge ruling on the floor.
We're back in a moment on the Altitude Sports Radio Network.
You already know that I'm a medical doctor and an attorney. Does it make a difference? Consider this. In medicine, you go to a specialist for the best care. And in law, you should as well. At Ramos Law, I bring my experience as an emergency medicine physician into the courtroom. We speak the language of doctors and the language of law. That means better understanding, better advocacy, and better results. Ramos Law. What makes us different makes us better.
Style and substance. That's GMC Sierra. We are professional grade. Well-qualified lessees get a 24-month ultra-low mileage lease for around $349 per month with $49.89 due at signing on a 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation Crew Cab with a 5.3-liter V8 engine. See your Colorado GMC dealers. Tax, title, license, dealer fees extra. No security deposit required. Your payments may vary. Mileage charge of 25 cents per mile over 20,000 miles at participating dealers only. Visit GMCOfferInfo.com for details.
This is your moment, Nuggets fans.
Let's go, Ball Arena. Get on your feet.
The road to the 2026-27 season starts now. Nuggets ticket memberships are officially on sale, giving you access to the biggest matchups, the best seats, and exclusive member-only perks all season long. From priority playoff access to flexible payment plans, being a member means you're more than a fan, you're part of the team. Don't wait for tip-off to make your move. Secure your seats today at Nuggets.com.
When your project demands safety, reliability, and skilled craftsmanship, hire a contractor backed by IBEW Local 68. Our electricians complete over 10,000 hours of training, deliver industry-leading safety performance, and bring the expertise needed for commercial, industrial, and renewable energy projects across Colorado. Build with confidence, build with the best. Find a union electrical contractor at IBEW68.com/contractors. IBEW Local 68, powering Colorado's future.
This is Todd Frayton's heart. He's begun his wellness journey. This is its sound on a treadmill, at a slight incline, on a stroll through the forest. And this is the heart of Maria Sanchez, his physician. What's it doing here? A lot, actually, because when we partner with you, we don't just offer a strategic plan and status updates. We put our hearts into it. Beat for beat. We call it the power of we. Intermountain Health.
Hi, Terry Lombardi, along with Vic.
Basketball is back in Denver. Redbird Farms Chicken is the star player when it comes to game day meals. And it's so tender, you can cut it with a fork. You don't even need a knife.
Did you know Redbird is offered by fine restaurants?
We insist on Redbird Farms Chicken. You can taste the difference. Available at King Soopers, City Market, and Safeway.
It's all about the taste with Redbird Farms Chicken.
That is the queen of chicken, Terry Lombardi.
Redbird Farms.
Denver Nuggets playoff basketball. Nuggets, Timberwolves on the Altitude Sports Radio Network.
After review, it's been determined that Anthony Edwards made secondary contact with the head and the face of Murray during his shooting motion. Therefore, this is an unsuccessful challenge. They'll be charged a timeout. They will not be able to challenge subsequent plays the rest of the game.
And, Scotty, that's the one bad thing about challenging in the first quarter. Now you're done.
It's a bad thing when it's your star saying challenge. You
right.
need the head coach, the other coach has got to be
quick. You kind of get shamed into it.
You get shamed into it. I mean, he crushed his head.
Yeah. Nuggets basketball on the Altitude Sports Radio Network is brought to you by Ball Corporation. All in for the Nuggets. Aluminum, all in. Both free throws are good by Jamal Murray. Nuggets are down by 3. It's 7-4. And here comes Anthony Edwards. We've played 4 minutes. Edwards has it on the high left side, top of the key to DiVincenzo. Back behind him over to Ant, left side DiVincenzo, and a 3. Jumpers up and in.
They've lost him in that same play all series long so far.
10-4, Nuggets are down by 6. Spencer Jones has it, top of the key over to Jokic. Jokic loops it in the corner over to Christian for 3. Well short, rebound grabbed by Anthony Edwards. Outlet pass off over to McDaniels. McDaniels has it on the high left side, throws it off on the wing over to Randall. Lobs a pass down low over to Gobert against Jokic. Has it knocked out of his hands, gets it back. Saves it from going out of bounds right over to Randall. Randall has it inside the arc. Short clock, three-pointer McDaniels. That one won't go. Rebound comes down to Jamal Murray. Nuggets are down by 6. Murray dribbles behind his back, takes a 3. No good again. Rebound comes down to Julius Randle. Outlet pass off over to Edwards, back over to Randall. Right side DiVincenzo, back over to Randall. Off to a cutter, McDaniels leans in, layup blocked. Loose ball comes down to Christian Brown. Brown has it at the midcourt circle. The ball kicked out of bounds. Last touch by McDaniels.
Denver 0 of 5 from the 3, Kaz. 1 of 9 shooting. Lucky to be only down 6.
I agree. That's huge. And again, we thought, I mean, at least I did, the first 5 minutes or so, it was going to be amped up in here. So we've gone through that window. Now the Nuggets just need to settle down and be patient. Here comes Murray. Murray gets the handoff from Jokic. Murray has it inside the arc against DiVincenzo. 5 on the clock. It's a post-up. Murray's in the paint, leans in. Little floaters on the way and no good. Rebound DiVincenzo, right side over to McDaniels. Through the window, Randall, layup is on the way, no good. Rebound tipped out by Jokic and grabbed by Christian Brown. Nuggets got to get the offense going here. Christian Brown to the rim, leans in, bank shot no good. Rebound comes down to Gobert. Outlet pass off over to Anthony Edwards. Halfway home in the first quarter, and Denver only has 4 points in the basketball game. Edwards has it at the midcourt circle. Throws it through the window to Gobert. Dumps it off to Randall. Dunk, 2 hands. Denver down by 8. It's 12-4. Inbound goes over to Jokic. Jokic on the high left side over to Murray. Back over to Jokic at the point. Through the window over to Murray. Dumps it off down low to Spencer Jones. Goes off of his legs and out of bounds.
Yeah, just not ready. Hands aren't ready. Wasn't a bad pass, a little firm. Talk about jitters. Denver defensively is okay. The 5 of 16 shooting for Minnesota, but you're throwing a 1 of 11 at them, you're in trouble.
Cam Johnson going to come back in for Denver at the next whistle. Inbound goes to Io Dosumnu. Dosumnu has it at the point. He's guarded out there by Spencer Jones. Top of the key over to Gobert. Hands off behind him to McDaniels. McDaniels has it. Throws it left side. Over to Dosumnu. Back on top to Anthony Edwards. Edwards guarded by Christian Brown. He goes to the left hand and he gets fouled on his way to the rim.
Yeah, that's Spencer Jones. He has a bad habit of that.
Just reaching.
He's guarding the corner. You don't slide the feet over, you slide your hands over. And they're going to give Anthony Edwards. No, they're going to. He wants free throws. They're going to put it on the side.
So that'll be Minnesota basketball across the way. Denver down by 8 here, 12-4. Denver sputtering out of the gate here in the first quarter. And the inbound goes over to Anthony Edwards. Edwards goes to the left hand. Guarded by Christian Brown. Top of the key over to Gobert. Back over to Edwards. Edwards steps through the defenders. Right side McDaniels. Runner down the lane is up and in.
There's that drive baseline that you talked about. It's what he does.
Yeah. 14-4. Denver's down by 10 here. Denver's offense non-existent here in the first quarter. Jokic in the paint against Gobert. Little floaters on the way and in. That'll help. 14-6. Denver's down by 8. Up the left side is Dosumnu. Dosumnu throws it off on the wing. Gets it right back at the point. Peels off to the high left side. Cross-court pass over to Edwards. Edwards guarded by Christian Brown. Throws out of it over to McDaniels. Gets down the lane. Layup is up and in.
Yeah, he just went right by Tim Hardaway. That was part of what he said. You get past that first guy, it's easy. Got to be resistance from the perimeter.
Cam Johnson has it on the high left side. Driving a dish over to Christian Brown. Brown back over to Cam Johnson. Brings it back out to the point. Shoots a 3. Jumper's no good. Rebound down to McDaniels. Outlet pass off over to Dosumnu. Dosumnu has it. Back behind him over to Anthony Edwards. Less than 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. In a 3. Jumper short. Rebound comes down to Hardaway. Outlet pass off over to Jokic. Jokic hands it off over to Murray. He goes to the left hand. Stutter step and a drive to the wing. Gets fouled on his pass by Anthony Edwards, and that's 2 on him.
Just got to hold your water for a little bit. Your offense will come back. If you're going to have a bad shooting quarter, better the first than the fourth, right? This is back-to-back tough quarters shooting.
As the kids say nowadays, Scotty, true dat. Hardaway looks in. Inbound goes over to Murray. Murray throws it off to a cutter, Cam Johnson. 12-footer. Jumpers hit glass only. And maybe the rubber on the bottom of the backboard only. Dosumnu has it the other way. Layups on the way and in.
Well, that was just lack of effort by Cam coming down off that dribble. He just got a little lazy with his feet.
11-2 run by Minnesota to take a 12-point lead. Denver has 6 points in the first quarter with less than 3.5 to go in the period. Denver's the #1 scoring team in the NBA on the Altitude Sports Radio Network.
Pool and more exciting features. Then hit the lanes at Island Extreme Bowl for some family-friendly competition before you head to our luxurious hotel for a relaxing night away. Book your stay now at TICasino.com. Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Destination fun.
At Target, we're home court advantage for the hometown sports fans. And with the Timberwolves season in full gear, we're here to help you gear up and make your game day prep a slam dunk. Hear that? That's what you call a buzzer-beating three-pointer for the win. Time to dish up your famous nachos or put a full-court press on some jalapeno poppers. Then serve up some sweet desserts to celebrate the W. However you do game day, we're here for it at Target and Target.com.
Cal Soderquist with a scoreboard update from our NBA Tonight studios. We go north of the border to Toronto, where the Raptors, facing that 2-0 series deficit against the Cavs, are putting up a fight tonight at home. This one is into the fourth quarter. Cleveland clinging to a 1-point lead, 84-83, as the Raptors hope to avoid a 3-0 deficit in that series. One final from earlier this evening. It just went final a bit ago. The Atlanta Hawks back home with that 1-1 series tie thanks to the comeback at Madison Square Garden against the Knicks earlier in the week. Well, the Knicks attempted to put together a comeback here tonight. Down as many as 18, they rallied to take a 3-point lead with under a minute to play, but a Jalen Johnson bucket got the Hawks back to within one, and C.J. McCollum did this.
Now Jalen Johnson's going to put it in play near the Knicks bench. Everybody on their feet here at State Farm Arena. And in it comes now C.J. McCollum. C.J. goes right down the lane. Foul line jumper is good. C.J. gives the Hawks the lead. 109-108. 12.5 to go. And the Knicks have to call their final timeout. Oh, boy. Timeout. 12 and a half seconds left. Hawks 109, Knicks 108.
Jalen Brunson and the Knicks had an opportunity before the buzzer, but couldn't get a shot off, so Atlanta hangs on for the 109-108 victory. They now have a 2-1 lead in that series. Game 4 from Atlanta on Saturday. Back to Alan and Jim.
All right, Cal, thank you very much. Boy, these playoff races have tightened up. Remember, the higher seed won 7 of the first game ones, of the 7 of the 8 game ones. Teams went, lower seeds went 4-4 in game 2s. 18-6, Wolves lead it by 12 here. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification all across the Minnesota Timberwolves radio network. Along with the analyst Jim Peterson, I'm Alan Horton. Our studio host and executive producer is Cal Soderquist. Our engineer, Mike Weber. Our statisticians are Dave Hanlon and Mike Greenbaum. Our studio coordinators are Alex Leibold and Ben Haney. Glad you're along with us on our flagship 100.3 FM, KFAM The Fan. All across the Timberwolves radio network, the iHeartRadio app, Timberwolves mobile app, SiriusXM satellite radio. Denver with it, Hardaway up top, straightaway catch and shoot three. That rims off. The Nuggets are 0 for 8 on their threes. They're 2 for 16 from the field. Wolves with it. Ayo along the baseline. Dribbles all the way back out. Up top, here's Nasri against THJ. He'll fire on the three. It's way offline. It's an air ball out of bounds. Still a 12-point Timberwolves lead.
14-4 advantage for Minnesota in the painted area. How about 7 of 12 shooting for Minnesota in the paint? Jaden McDaniels has been attacking regularly. Got 9 points already. This Jaden on 4 of 6 shooting.
Here's Julian Strawther playing his first minutes of the series. He misses a runner down the lane. The misses just keep coming fast and furious for Denver. Bones saved by Dante. It was a poor feed by Highland. Dante able to save it, but now it's 5-on-4 Nuggets. Bruce Brown into the game. He's got it left angle. Beyond the arc, he's got Gobert on him. Takes him off the dribble, drives in. The layup too strong. Bones Highland collects the rebound. Bones will slow things up here as Bones walks it across the timeline. 2:25 left to go first quarter. 18-6 in favor of Minnesota. Bones with it, right side, off to Rudy, right back to Bones, off the screen. Highland will circle around. They'll feed Ayo right wing, catch and shoot three, online but short. Tim Hardaway Jr. collects the rebound. Hardaway with some pace and purpose up the center of the floor. Pulls up on a three, it's online but short as well. Ayo Dosunmu with the rebound.
Denver's missed their last 6 shots, by the way.
Naz Reid off the Rudy screen. Gets in the paint, floats it up with the right hand. That's no good. Rudy kept the rebound alive. It's tapped out to the perimeter. Here comes Denver. They've got numbers on the push. Bruce Brown down the lane. Lobs into the corner. Knocked away by Dante. Comes out to THJ. He fires a three at the right angle and drains it. First three of the night for the Denver Nuggets. They're 1 for 9 from long range. Number 1 three-point shooting team in the NBA at 40% this year. Not a ton of volume with that efficiency. Rudy on a handoff. Here's Dante. Goes back to Rudy on the roll. Right past Jokic. Layup good and a foul. I'm not sure Rudy was expecting that pass, but Dante put it right in his waist. And Rudy didn't break stride at all. He busted through an arm tackle by Jokic and gets the and-one opportunity.
Handles the shovel pass beautifully. It was in close quarters, too, and you're right. I don't think he expected it, but somehow he handled it, and he finishes with the left hand. That was fantastic.
Rudy just 1 of 7 at the free throw line in this series. Puts that one in. 21-9. 1:22 left to go in this opening quarter. Here's Jokic up in the front court, wing right to Cam Johnson, back to Jokic on the roll on the baseline, puts up a top shot, gets his own miss, put back, swatted by Rudy, but contact from Naz Reid, who was helping out. That's one of those offensive rebounds where you get your own miss. Jokic led the NBA in rebounds this year. 61 times he grabbed his own miss. He's stat padding. He's clearly bored with the game. The 3-time MVP is too good. He's just trying to get his own rebounds.
He's not the first person to do that. Moses Malone made a career of doing that very same thing. We've got the drone back, too, by the way. The Amazon drone is back.
I wasn't going to bring it up. I'll see how long it would go before you...
Somehow they have it a little higher now, so it's not totally in our eye line as we look at the court, but it was so annoying in game 1 where that drone was right in front of us.
It just kind of hovers. You're right, it is a little bit higher, so it's out, especially with the dark mode, the blackout.
Yeah.
It doesn't show up quite as much. 21-11 after the Jokic free throws. He hit them both. 3-ball, Bones, no. Island was 3 of 4 from distance in game 2. Under a minute to go. Jokic with it, wing left, 2-man game with Tim Hardaway Jr. with Jamal Murray on the bench. Here's Hardaway, falls away at the elbow. The shot, no. And Naz Reid's got the rebound. Denver Nuggets are 3 of 21 shooting to start this game. It's only a 10-point lead, however, for Minnesota. Rudy gets a little fancy with a drop pass to Dante. Down the lane, layup, spun around, kissed the window, and dropped in. Back the other way, Denver throws it away. Julian Strawther tried to hit Brown, but threw it right past him, out of bounds.
It really feels like Denver feels a little depleted right now, and a little defeated at that point. If this has been not the start that David Adelman had hoped when Jake McDaniels challenges his team.
Yeah, the Wolves have definitely responded better to those comments by their own player than the opponents. 2-second differential, game clock and shot clock. Ayo working some clock. Now runs to the right side, goes in on Jokic, and scores it for 2. There's just no hesitation with Wolves offensive players attacking Jokic at the rim. 25-11. 6 seconds left to go in the quarter. Here's Jokic, left side. Bullet pass, too tall for Tim Hardaway Jr. Cross court, out of bounds. Wolves up by 14. They got 1.6 to shoot. Inbound, Dante takes the dribble. Let's fly from beyond midcourt. It's going to come up short. It was online, and he got it off in time, but not the right distance. What a first quarter for Minnesota. They outscored Denver 18-7 over the final 7:48. But the story has been the Wolves' defense. They hold the Nuggets to 3 for 21 shooting, 1 of 9 from distance, and force 4 turnovers. Wolves, however, only up by 14 as we head to the second quarter next. Minnesota leads Denver in game 3, 25-11 on the Minnesota Timberwolves Radio Network.
And we are joined now with Dr. Derek Ebner, gastroenterologist at Mayo Clinic Comprehensive Cancer Center. And here's this number, 152,810. That's how many people are estimated to be diagnosed with colorectal cancer in 2024, according to the American Cancer Society.
Yes, historically, each year that number decreases by around 1% for older adults, while individuals younger than 50 years old, commonly referred to as early onset, is rising by about 1 to 2% each year.
Wow, increasing, you said. Really? Why do you believe that is?
There are many risk factors that can lead to this increase. Some of these factors are beyond your control, such as genetics. Other risk factors are modifiable and can come from the environment. Research is still being done to identify exactly what those are, but there is some suggestion that decreased physical activity, alcohol consumption, and eating ultra-processed foods may be contributing. Unfortunately, early onset colorectal cancer has shown an increase in mortality over the past decade and differs from colorectal cancer found in older populations. The most important thing that individuals under 50 can do to help take control of their health is to educate themselves on early onset disease by learning about colorectal cancer screening, incorporating a healthy lifestyle, and seeing their primary care provider regularly.
Well, we thank you, Dr. Ebner, so much for your time and for highlighting the importance of being proactive with our health. For more information on Dr. Ebner and the incredible work that is being done at Mayo Clinic Comprehensive Cancer Center, visit mayoclinic.org/possible.
No matter how you drive it, there's a Ford for you. On the work site or out in the town, F-Series trucks provide power and toughness when you need it most. It's what makes them the best-selling trucks in America for 49 years. When adventure calls, the Bronco family always answers. That's because they're made for the great outdoors. With a flexible interior, the Ford Explorer adapts towards your needs. Visit your local Northland Ford dealers to find the perfect Ford for you. Plus, a great offer to go along with it. Based on 1977 to 2025 CY industry reported total sales.
You're listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
12 minutes up on the scoreboard. We get set for the second quarter play. The Timberwolves defense thriving. 25-11. They lead by 14. They held the Nuggets to 11 first quarter points. And if we look back at Denver's playoff history against Minnesota, and again, this is the fourth time these teams have matched up, 0-4, 23, and 24. This is now the sixth time the Wolves have held the Nuggets to 15 or less points in a quarter. Now, these are playoff matchups. That's some pretty good defensive numbers, and it probably wouldn't be a big surprise to tell you that all of those up until tonight came in that 7-game series when the Wolves had the #1 defense in the NBA that year.
This speaks to him, and you talk about this all the time, when you give Chris Finch a week to prepare and you give his coaching staff some time, and then you start playing the same opponent night in and night out. Two teams have played more than Minnesota and Denver has over the past 4 years. So this has been quite the rivalry. How about we're going to see Zeke Naji in the game? We weren't expecting that, but with no Aaron Gordon, they've got to go that direction.
They've already brought in Julian Strother, and now Zeke Naji, the Minneapolis native, will get some minutes. Jokic is off the floor. They go with Spencer Jones at the 5. No Valanciunas. Wolves do not have Gobert on the floor to start the second quarter. Here's Murray. Pull up left side. The 3-ball no after a hesitation move. Got him out of rhythm. Wolves control the rebound. Highland to Edwards. In on the floor with the 2 fouls. And he runs into Strother and then backs it out. 15 to shoot. Takes a run again. Steps through. Up with the right hand. It hangs on the front rim and it drops in. That thing was just hanging on the rim, and finally centrifugal force came through.
You literally didn't know which way it was going to fall. It was like the ball bouncing around on a roulette wheel. Is it going to go on red or black? And it decided to go in the hoop. I mean, literally, it was just sitting right on top of the front of the rim.
And it was because Ant went in at such an odd angle and kind of reversed it up and in. You're like, wait, which way does his hand put the spin on the ball? Free throw is good. Edwards. Just 2 of 6 shooting, but has 5 points, 3 boards, 3 assists. Murray will bring it up. He's being picked up 3-quarter court by Jaden McDaniels. Making Murray work. He has struggled in 4th quarters in the first 2 games. Now it's Ant on Murray. Up top, 7 to shoot. Jamal's trying to do it all. Frees himself. Pulls up on the jumper. In and out. No. Rebound tapped out. Strother's got it. Baseline. Kicks out to Brown. Now up top to Murray. Murray reluctantly gives it off. Zeke Naji, spin move inside. Pump fakes Randall in the air. Banks it in for 2. Nicely done. Zeke Naji.
Good use of the pump fake and the step through by Zeke Naji.
Murray's 1 of 5 shooting in this game. Jokic 1 of 8. Very similar numbers to what they put up in the fourth quarter of game 2. And they combined to go 2 for 12. Jaden McDaniels 9 to shoot. And deep 3. Left angle. Lets it fly. It's on line but short. Edwards now 0 for 3 from distance in this game. 5 for 23 in the series. Bruce Brown got step and got the lay-in.
A little different defensive look without Rudy Gobert in there to protect the paint.
Denver spreading out the floor. There was nobody home in the paint to help defend. Bones Highland bounce pass to Randall. In the paint, surrounded by 3. Good kick out to Nasri. Corner 3 is good. Sensational setup by Julius Randall. First assist of the night for Randall. He's got 2 points, 4 rebounds. Najee dives to the rim inside. Contact with Naz Reid. And they'll get Naz on the foul.
You know, Emi Udoka has been criticized a lot in that Lakers series, the way that they've responded to all the trapping and double teaming that Kevin Durant and Alperen Şengün have experienced, and it almost looks like they haven't prepared for it. Minnesota season, Kevin Durant sees a lot of double teams. Minnesota's able to operate when they see 2 on the ball so much. They've seen it so much. They know exactly what to do. That Naz Reid 3 in the corner is a perfect example of them playing out of a trap. Well drilled in that regard.
Julius Randle, game 2, 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. It stuns me sometimes to look at the final back score, and I never quite realize how good Julius Randle is in some of these games. Just piles up the statistics.
He's a great number 2 scorer for Anthony Edwards. 2 guys that are so good in play in isolation, too, that can get buckets on their own.
Here's Julius Randle working on Najee, right to the cup, up with the left hand. Nobody draws the contact. 2 free throws coming up for Randle.
How great is it for Julius Randle to have his family sitting right there across from the visitor's bench in the corner? He just makes that move and gets fouled, and he walks right past his family. To have his 2 boys see him in that regard, I mean, that's got to feel so good for him and for them that they're able to see their dad, like, as young kids. They're going to remember this for the rest of their life. They've been there all season long, too. Kaiden's been one of those guys that's giving you the 3 ball. He's got the 3 fingers out. He's been so animated over there. I just love that part of the sub-story for really Julius Randle.
That is really cool. Speaking of those ISOs you mentioned, the Wolves had 29 in game 1. They had 17 in game 2. That's a pretty steep drop-off. And what goes along with that? The 21 assists in game 1 jumped to 30, the magic number in game 2.
It's something you don't want to have it be your main course. You want it to be something you can go to as an appetizer.
Yeah.
Especially end-of-game situation in these playoff games.
And then it'd be a dessert, wouldn't it?
Could be that. Oh, my goodness.
Bruce Brown down the lane. Got a seam. Smashes it through, and he took some contact.
Naz Reid's going to pick up his 3rd foul.
Wow. So an and-one opportunity for Bruce Brown.
That was Jaden McDaniels' mistake. He's saying it's my fault, and really Naz shouldn't have been in that position. It should have been Jaden picking up Bruce Brown in transition.
Did that bucket not go in? I thought he slammed it through. No, 2 shots then.
Oh, I thought it went through too.
I did. Don't tell me that.
Okay. That's right. We're on radio. No one saw that.
This is the second one. Here's Jamal Murray. They got the offensive rebound. Sets up Zeke Naji in the corner. And Zeke Naji making the most of his opportunity.
Certainly is.
Got 6 points, 2 of 2 shooting. 32-20. Jamal Murray's starting to think, hey, I don't have to take every single shot out here without Jokic on the floor.
You've got to keep the same energy against these bench players, too. Don't just let them come in here and hurt you.
Julius Randle, left elbow. Backing down Spencer Jones. Took some contact. Kicks out. Angle 3 on the way. No. 3 balls just way off for Anthony Edwards right now. 5 for 24 in the series. And a whistle and a foul against the Wolves at the defensive end. This will go against Julius Randle.
13th foul for Minnesota.
Wolves are up by 12 here.
You know, those broken floor situations are dangerous. You know, Jaden McDaniels was trailing the play, and Julius had to pick up Strother in transition. Sometimes fouling is a strategy. You know, you're not in the bonus. It's only your third team foul. I know there's 9 minutes to go in the quarter, but you did break up a situation where they could have scored.
Najee on a handoff. Here's Julian Strother. Top of the key, into the paint, splits two, and couldn't get the shot, point blank. 32-20. Wolves are shooting 42%, just 2 of 13 from distance. Bullet pass from Randall to Dante in the corner, moves to his left, fires on the three, no, and Zeke Najee has the rebound. 8:32 left to go, second quarter. Timberwolves still up by a dozen. Murray frees himself on in, fades on the 21-footer and strokes it, nothing but net. Jamal Murray up to 6 points. He's 2 of 6 shooting. Jaden quickly back the other way, a drive. Finds a cutting Ayo, layup is good. Terrific job, sort of a secondary break for Minnesota. Back up by 12. Bruce Brown now with his 8th year out of Miami. Last time he played a playoff game with Denver, they won the title. Here's Brown into the paint, floats it up in the right hand. That's short. Ayo Dosunmu snatches the rebound. Hit ahead to Dante on the run. Makes the catch, drives in. Oh, what a finish in traffic! Dante DiVincenzo puts the Wolves up by 14. Ayo with the find. Dante the finish. That was pretty.
Certainly was. Dante got on his horse right away when Ayo grabbed that rebound. He got out and sprinted in front of the Denver defense. David Adelman was incensed that they gave up that layup.
36-22, timeout Denver. 7:54 left to go in the second quarter of Game 3 on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Splash, 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 apply a little splash. When your windshield's getting dirty, just apply a little splash. When your windshield's full of grime, bugs, dirt, and snow, just use a little splash and be safe on the road. Splash, 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 apply a little splash. When your windshield's getting dirty, just apply a little splash. See safely on the road when you apply a little splash.
Looking for reliable heating and cooling solutions? At Hoffman Cooling and Heating, we keep your home comfortable all year round. With summer heat right around the corner, now's the perfect time for our $59 AC performance check, ensuring your system is running efficiently when you need it most. Have an emergency? Our expert technicians are on call 24/7, ready to assist Twin Cities residents. Call us today at 612-255-5883 or visit hoffmanheating.net. Hoffman Cooling and Heating. Your comfort is our priority.
The trees are back, Wolves fans. Celebrate the return of one of the Timberwolves' most iconic looks with fresh gear.
Court, into the front court, and tracks it down. He's alone to the rim. Look out below. Elevate and detonate.
From the tree-trimmed collar jersey to fresh classic edition apparel and accessories, the Timberwolves team store, a Fanatics experience, has everything you need to rep the trees.
13-7 and Target Center is rocking and rolling.
Shop the new classic edition collection now at shop.timberwolves.com.
What's the difference between banks and a credit union like Wings? One word: ownership. Banks are owned by shareholders, so profits go to shareholders. At Wings, you own it, literally. So profits are reinvested in your financial experience in the form of member-exclusive rates, robust digital services, and locations throughout Minnesota. No one likes switching, but it's time to stop missing out on the benefits of financial ownership. Visit wingcu.com/ownit. Insured by NCUA. Membership required.
Nuggets by 14 midway through the second quarter of play. I want to go back to something Anthony Edwards said after Game 2. He was talking postgame about his message to Rudy Gobert and the defense that Rudy has provided.
I told him in the locker room just now before I came in here, like, brother, we're half the team when you're on the bench. It's just that simple. Like, everybody gonna say this about Rudy. He's this, he's that. They don't understand what he means to us when he's on the floor. Like, people don't want to lay the ball up around him. People just don't want to go at Rudy. Like, regardless of what they say about him on the offensive end of the floor, like, he's a 4-time defensive player of the year for a reason. He's been doing it at a high level for a long time, and we need him on the floor. That's why I challenged him at the end of the third. Because, I mean, Jokic is what, maybe 4-time MVP, 3-time, what is he? He got 3 MVPs, but, like, Jokic got 4 defensive player. Rudy got 4 defensive player of the year for a reason, man. Like, he can guard. So I think people got to start respecting him, you know, put some respect on his name. And that's what we do, man. We trust him. I told him, like, bro, we ain't bringing no double team. You going to guard him one-on-one all night. and stop fouling. Like, stop going for the reaching, and, you know, because he's going to flop, and they're going to call a foul. So just play him straight up. If you make a shot over, you cool. That's what he do. He get paid to make those shots. So let's go, really, let's go.
Awesome answer by Ant, who you rarely will hear an answer as Murray fires out of the timeout and misses at the right elbow. Jokic is back on the floor with 7:30 left to play. But you rarely hear a long answer like that, but Ant's got those thoughts. He just doesn't often share them to the media. He certainly doesn't like talking about himself, but with Rudy Gobert, the way he's been playing, there's Jaden inside, floats it up and sinks it for two.
So good at that mid-range floater, the little push shot that he has in the painted area. Jokic traveled.
And the Wolves force a turnover anyway. Hardaway couldn't control it. Dante on the push, out to Ant, wing left. Edwards against Tim Hardaway Jr. lines up for the three ball. Got it! After missing his first four, Ant unloads from the left wing and puts the Wolves up by 19. 5 gone, 7 left to play here in quarter number 2. Jokic up top, three ball on the way. Oh, that circles around and drops in.
Rudy Gobert was a team-high plus 14, by the way.
Wow, quickly back the other way. Ayo Dosunmu with the lay-in. And another timeout called by the Nuggets. Well, this will give the Wolves an advantage with the timeouts as we head towards the rest of this game. We step aside here from Target Center. Timberwolves 43, Denver 25, an 18-point lead on the Timberwolves radio network.
It's playoff basketball. You got to do a little bit of everything.
The intensity levels are at an all-time high. These are the NBA playoffs. Every team looking to make a run.
This is incredible.
Every player looking to make history.
Give me all you got. Let's go.
So tune in, because this is going to be unbelievable.
This is exactly what we want.
The NBA playoffs presented by Google continue on ABC, ESPN, NBC, Peacock, and Prime.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024, U.S. Bank.
Time for another scoreboard update from our NBA Tonight studios. A final from earlier this evening taking place in Atlanta, where the Hawks hoping to build on that comeback earlier in the week at Madison Square Garden. Tonight they had to survive a comeback from the Knicks as C.J. McCollum hit the go-ahead bucket with under 30 seconds to play, and Jalen Brunson unable to get off a final shot as time expired. So the Hawks hang on for a 109-108 victory. They now have a 2-1 lead in the series. Game 4 is set for Saturday in Atlanta. North of the border, we've got less than a minute left. The Raptors hoping to avoid a 3-0 deficit in their series with the Cavs, riding some hot shooting in this fourth quarter to build themselves a lead.
Go inside here.
Let's see if Scotty does it, Jonesy. He
Get
calls
that
out
ball
the play.
with the paint.
He's calling for a screen. Battle's coming up high. Barnes throws it over to an open Battle, far side. Yes, sir! You have got to be kidding me! Jamison Battle does it again, and the Raptors lead by 17. Timeout, Cleveland.
Feed the fire, baby. That's all I can say. Feed the fire.
That's former Golden Gopher Jamison Battle, part of a 36-14 run from the Raptors. Starters were pulled with about 2 minutes to play in the game. Raptors up comfortably now. It's a 21-point cushion with under a minute left. They're going to get that bounce-back victory and make it a 2-1 deficit in that series. Let's get back to Alan and Jim.
All right, Cal, thank you very much. Timberwolves on an 11-3 run over the last 1 minute, 36 seconds. They lead the Nuggets by 18 points with 6:40 left to go in the second quarter. We heard from Ant talking about Rudy Gobert in Game 2. Here's Chris Finch on Ant's performance and his leadership in Game 2.
Yeah, he was awesome, man. It was unbelievable. I think also in that period when we were down, he was great on the bench, great leadership, positive. He recognized he needed to get into attack mode and get downhill a little bit more. He did that. He got off the ball when they put 2 on him, but to start the second quarter run, But, then all the way, Dante makes the big three. They put 2 on the ball. Great play by Ant right there. So I thought he was outstanding tonight in his 4 games.
Time and time again, Ant makes the right play. Jokic out of the timeout, sets up Bruce Brown inside, gets the lay-in over Jaden McDaniels. Nuggets respond out of the timeout.
How about 30 to 10 points in the paint advantage for Minnesota, 10-0 fast break points, and just 1 turnover for Minnesota so far in the half.
Ayo up top, here's Anthony Edwards circling off the Rudy screen, doubled, lost the ball, it's out of bounds. It'll be Denver basketball.
Jokic wants to get that thing in quick. You got to get down court and get matched up quickly. Julius Randle's going to check in for Jaden McDaniels.
So 13 assists, only 2 turnovers for the Wolves. Meanwhile, Denver's got 2 assists, 5 turnovers here in this first half. There's Cam Johnson, wing left, sets up Jokic up top. Jokic with Gobert on him. 10 on the shot clock. Brown sets the screen. Jokic rejects that, goes into the paint, gets by Randle, floats up the shot, and hits it. 3rd field goal of the game for Jokic. He's 3 of 10 shooting. He's got 9 points. Ayo, he knows 1 speed, he pushes the pace. Cut off by Tim Hardaway Jr. Now Rudy with it up top, hand off to Ant, dances off that Gobert screen, lines up the 3 and hits it! His 2nd straight after missing his first 4. Timberwolves up by 17 with 5.5 to go in the second.
Jokic is so far dropped. When Rudy hands that thing off to Ant, he reverses it. He's right in an open shot.
Jokic throws it away. Dante with a steal. Up ahead, Ayo to the cup. The driving layup is there. Jokic with an awful wing pass, and the Wolves make him pay.
Illinois coach Brad Underwood is here watching his 2 Illinois fighting Illini in this game. Ayo's playing great.
Brown gets fouled going down the lane. He double clutched and drew contact. They will get it on Anthony Edwards, his 3rd personal foul.
That hurts. Jaden's going to come right back in the game.
Yeah, Chris Finch is not going to risk it with 4:58 to go in the half.
Minnesota's made 7 consecutive shots.
Free throw off the back iron for Christian Brown. Wolves have turned the Denver 6 turnovers into 12 points already.
It's pretty good efficiency.
Bulls basketball tonight brought to you in part by U.S. Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Timberwolves, and by Treasure Island. Book your stay now, TICasino.com. Visit the island, Treasure Island, Resort and Casino. Christian Brown hits 1 out of 2 at the line. It's his only point of the game, 0 for 2 shooting. Averaging 14 points a game in the series. Wolves are up by 18. They've got it left to right across your radio. Rudy with a touch, a hand off to Dante. Inside the arc, finds a cutting Ayo baseline. Dribbles through to the right wing, off to McDaniels, back to Ayo. Ayo attacks baseline, he's got the lay-in. Jokic just watching, Christian Brown watching, Bruce Brown watching. Ayo's up to a dozen in 10 minutes of play. Brown inside, oh, he got his layup blocked by Jaden McDaniels. Denver wants a goaltend. Wolves come back the other way. Here's McDaniels on the move in the lane, runs up the shot and hits it. The Wolves have blitzed the Nuggets here in this first half. They're up by 22. The 3-time MVP hands off to Christian Brown. Right back to Jokic. Left angle beyond the arc. 10 to shoot. Pass inside. Hardaway's got the block. Kicked out to Cam Johnson. Corner 3. Missed that long. Hardaway with an offensive rebound. Put back off the glass is good. Wolves inbound quickly. Jaden to Dante crossing midcourt. 52-32, Dante the drive, kick out, Ayo left angle, throws it over his shoulder, Dante fills up the corner and buries the 3. It is all flowing right now for Minnesota. David Adelman's got to burn another timeout. 55-32, it is an absolute beatdown here in the first half. But there is still a mountain of time left. And the champs from 2 years ago, you know they're not going to give up without a fight. So there is still a long way to go. 10 straight made shots by the Wolves.
Fantastic. Doing a great job of mixing incredible energy on the defensive end and turning defense into offense. And even when Denver scores, Alan, they're getting the ball back in bounds quickly and getting it up the floor and put pressure on their defense. It's been an attack to close out game, whether it's been Ayo Dosunmu, whether it's been Jaden McDaniels. They have been getting downhill. 36-14 points to paint advantage for Minnesota.
I mean, big numbers by Minnesota, just all over the box score. Nuggets being held at 31%, shooting 3 of 12 from distance, 6 turnovers. Wolves putting up 30 here in the second already.
How about 12 of 15 shooting in the quarter? 80% for Minnesota from the field, 4 of 7 from 3. The three-point shooting has been kept to a minimum because Minnesota is doing everything that Jaden McDaniels said that Denver can't do. They've been attacking them. No one's stopping them at the rim. They did not go with Jonas Valanciunas in this game. They went with Zeke Naji with Aaron Gordon out. This has just been fascinating how Minnesota is taking care of business here at Target Center.
Out of the timeout, Jamal Murray back on the floor with Jokic, Hardaway, Brown, and Johnson. Jokic settles, 18-footer right side. Jumper's good. On jump shots this year, Nikola Jokic shot 50%, number 1 in the NBA. Now whistling a foul inside as Randall was trying to position himself in the paint. Foul on Cam Johnson.
He's trying to roll into that right box post up. Cam Johnson used a little bit too much physicality to prevent his freedom of movement.
Third team foul against the Nuggets. Wolves have committed 4 here in the quarter.
This is why Ayo Dosunmu is so valuable too, because Anthony Edwards is in foul trouble. You can put him in the game and he's plug and play.
Yep.
Can still give you offense.
Here's Dante on the drive. Lost it, got it back. He's in the corner in front of the Nuggets bench. Now Rudy sets up Ayo, left angle 3. Oh, online but a little bit long. It popped out. Here's Jamal Murray up the center of the floor. Got some pace against McDaniels. Bump, gets into the lane, runs it up off glass, got it for 2.
They are getting that bounce.
6'4". It's amazing how he can finish inside.
It is true. It's so true.
Dante off the Rudy screen. Gets to the low block against Cam Johnson and lobs it back out. Here's Julius Randle. 2:45 to play in the first half. Randle bumps back, now fades on the jumper, rattles around and wouldn't drop, and Jokic clears the rebound. Lob up ahead. Oh, stolen in midcourt by Dante DiVincenzo. Dante pops on the 3, missed it short, and Jokic taps the rebound out to the wing, and Cam Johnson controls. Well, you make the steal like that, you're allowed to shoot it. Dante's been red hot, too. Jokic pump fakes, leans in on the 3, and Scott Foster bails him out. Scott Foster was the referee when these two matched up on Christmas Day Eve. That turned into a wild one.
See, I didn't think you could do that anymore. I didn't think you could jump into a defender like that. And it's not a natural shooting motion that Jokic just did to draw that foul on Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, he's jumping into him specifically to draw the contact. That's the intent. Wolves do not have a challenge. They lost that early on in the game. Scott Foster was also the referee in that fantastic come-from-behind win against the Houston Rockets. There were a whole lot of swings in that game, and most of them had to do with a couple of calls that Scott Foster made. Yeah. Then you go back a few years, Rudy Gobert flashing the money sign, and Scott Foster in Cleveland. Two free throws for Jokic. He only got 2 free throws. Randall with a slam inside to finish with the left hand.
Man, that was strong.
In traffic, throwing it down, Julius Randle. So Jokic only got 2 free throws out of that. Here's Murray to the left elbow, got airborne and drops it back for Jokic. Big man's gonna fire on the 3. That circles out. The rebound to Rudy Gobert. Only Rudy's 4th rebound of the game, but the big number when he's playing Jokic is shooting 4 of 12. Randall with it. Tim Hardaway Jr. guarding him. Rudy, free throw line. He'll push it up with the right hand. It's short. Air ball. Johnson saves it. Here's Jokic. Hit ahead to Tim Hardaway Jr. Right side. Got bumped. Lobs it inside. Brown with a catch, and he's fouled from behind.
When you give Rudy the basketball in that situation, as Julius did, and Rudy popped right to the nail at the free throw line, just run into a dribble handoff. I know Rudy's a proud player and he wants to offensively help, but it's just not his shot. It's too far away from the rim. It's just not what he does. That was a good foul by DiVincenzo. He timed it perfectly to get the block. He did foul him, but Christian Braun misses the first free throw here. It's called fouling for profit, Alan Horton.
Yes. I like anything for profit. Not cheating for profit, but...
No, not cheating for profit.
I only go so far. 57-39. Wolves up by 18. Here's Ayo to the right side of the floor, trying to force it into Randall. Too many arms in the way. It gets deflected and turned over.
Just third turnover of the game for Minnesota.
Jamal Murray inside. Hangs, kick out. Jokic up top. Runs off of McDaniels and floats it up down the lane. That's short. Gobert's got the rebound.
Joker's even missing the floater now, point blank.
There's Ayo on the push, and he got fouled a couple of times. Smart last foul by Jokic. No double jeopardy. You can't be called for 2 fouls on one play. But he prevented Ayo from possibly getting an and one.
Ayo Dosunmu does not look like a guy that's only played 5 playoff games in his career. They did play that one series back in 21-22 with the Bulls when they played the Milwaukee Bucks. Gentlemen's sweep. They went 4-1 loss against Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks. Didn't play that much either. You know, Ayo only averaged 4 points in that series, but he is looking very confident right now in Timberwolves uniform.
Tonight, his 8th career playoff game. Conley strokes a pair. 59-39. Timberwolves up by 20 with a minute to go in the second quarter.
Ayo's got 14 points here in the first half.
He's been sensational. 14 minutes. Here's Murray against McDaniels. Just inside of midcourt. Now 10 to shoot. Murray getting downhill into the paint off to Jokic. Dishes it off to Brown. On the basket. Looked at Rudy. Said, Here's Jokic with it. 3 to shoot. Against Randall. Turns, fires. Desperation heave. It's an air ball. Jaden McDaniels takes it. Wolves up by 20. Looking for more. Julius Randall with it up top against Christian Braun. In rhythm. To the nail. Out to Ayo Dosunmu. Well, Tim Hardaway Jr. playing off at him. Ayo could have had the shot. Now he gets a running start into THJ. Lobs it back out. Randall 6 to shoot. Into the paint. Hesitates. Now rises with the left hand. It drops in for 2. It's a 22-point lead. 17 seconds left. Hurry up into the front court. There's 10 seconds left to go in the frame. The Wolves do not have a foul to give. Murray and Jokic off the Jokic screen. Murray against Gobert. Right angle. Now the step back. High arcing 3. Offline at the buzzer. What a first half for Minnesota. 61 points they put up. They already have 4 in double figures, and they hold Jokic to 13 points on 14 shots. Murray 8 points on 9 shots. Denver, the #1 offense in the NBA, just 39 points at the half, 31% shooting at 3 of 16 from distance. Halftime, Timberwolves 61, Nuggets 39. Cal Soderquist anchors your halftime coverage next, all across the Minnesota Timberwolves radio network.
Wolves fans, this is playoff basketball. Every move matters, so why leave your fit to chance? And Trade Home Shoes, our in-store real fit experience, helps take the guesswork out of comfort. How? 3D foot scan, personalized fitting, expert advice just for you. With top brands like New Balance, Hoka, On, Birkenstock, Rival, and more, Trade Home Shoes' real fit experience makes all the difference when every game and every step matters. Trade Home Shoes. Enjoy life. Feet first.
At Target, we're home court advantage for the hometown sports fans. And with the Timberwolves season in full gear, we're here to help you gear up and make your game day prep a slam dunk. Hear that? That's what you call a buzzer-beating three-pointer for the win. Time to dish up your famous nachos or put a full-court press on some jalapeno poppers. Then serve up some sweet desserts to celebrate the W. However you do game day, we're here for it at Target and Target.com.
Wolves fans, before the temps rise, make your move and get your AC ready. Standard Heating and Air Conditioning wants you to book early, save big, and relax all summer. Right now, get $45 off an AC tune-up or $90 when you add a furnace tune-up. Book by May 25th and mention code WOLVES when scheduling. Beat the heat and stay cool all summer long. Proud partners of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930. StandardHeating.com.
52-32. Dante the drive. Kick out. Ayo left angle. Throws it over his shoulder. Dante fills up the corner and buries the three. It is all flowing right now for Minnesota. David Adelman's got to burn another timeout. 55-32. It is an absolute beatdown here in the first half.
An offensive onslaught from Dante DiVincenzo and the Minnesota Timberwolves throughout these first 24 minutes as the Wolves built a lead as large as 23. It's currently a 22-point cushion. We have reached the halftime intermission. Red Panda rolling around on the unicycle right now as we speak, and all kinds of fun being had here at Target Center as the Timberwolves have controlled the first two quarters of this Game 3. Welcome inside the halftime show. Cal Soderquist here in our NBA Tonight studios. In just a moment, we'll get to a few more of those first half highlights. Plenty to choose from as far as Minnesota's concerned. 4 different players in double figures, led by an ultra-efficient 14 points from Ayo Dosunmu in his 15 minutes off the bench. He was 6 of 8 from the field, getting out and sparking Minnesota's fast break on several occasions. The Wolves with a 14-1 edge in terms of the fast break scoring. That's been a big, big boost. Several areas of the box score will point out where the Wolves have a healthy advantage, as you might expect, in a game that they lead by 22. We'll also nominate our hot player of the half, a couple candidates to select from there, and we'll get you caught up to speed on other games from around the association. 2 other finals earlier this evening, of course, with this one tipping off just after 8:45 in the Central Time Zone. And then assistant coach Pablo Prigioni, he'll chat with Alan and Jim and discuss some of the things the team discussed in the locker room at the intermission, as again, the Wolves with plenty to like from their first half performance with the 61-39 lead. All right, let's get into the highlights. This series shifting to downtown Minneapolis after the Wolves successfully stole Monday's Game 2 in Denver. So all knotted up at a game apiece, set for a pivotal Game 3 inside Target Center. Throughout NBA history, when a series is tied 1-1, teams that win Game 3 go on to win the series 74% of the time. So that helps tell the tale of what is at stake in this one. And Jaden McDaniels, he made the headlines following Game 2 with some of his remarks, calling out nearly all of Denver's roster as poor defenders. And after those remarks and comments made the rounds on social media, we wondered how Jaden would start this game, and very early on, backing up his words with action.
Jokic with Murray. Oh, he got tripped up. Ball's loose. Scooped up by McDaniels. 2-on-1. Dante back to Jaden. He'll throw it down. He drew the foul. A 3-point opportunity for Jaden McDaniels, and the Wolves get Game 3 off to a sensational start.
This is a heavyweight boxing match with both fighters feeling each other out here early on.
Yeah, the Timberwolves and Jaden McDaniels landing jab after jab after jab throughout that first quarter, and Jaden simply did not cool off.
Now cross court, Ant with it in the corner, up fakes the 3, moves to his left on right. Now inside the arc to the mid-post, sets up McDaniels up top, Jaden down the lane, finger roll over the front iron for 2.
Well, he is paying tribute to what he said after Game 2. He is going right at them at the rim. He's been attacking the basket on every closeout on the perimeter.
Aggressive, taking it to the cup. How about the Timberwolves with a 20-4 edge in terms of paint points in that first quarter alone? Jaden had 9 points in that opening frame, 4 rebounds. He was 4 of 6 from the field. He nearly outscored the Nuggets on his own as Denver mustered just 11 points in the quarter. They were 3 of 21 from the field, 1 of 9 from deep. They had 4 turnovers. Nikola Jokic, how about 4 points on 1 of 8 shooting in that first quarter? So his struggles from Game 2's fourth quarter carried over into the opening 12 minutes tonight. When the dust settled on that first frame, a 25-11 Timberwolves advantage. They boosted the lead to 17 very early in that second quarter, then saw Denver rally to within 10, but Minnesota quickly snapped back into shape. Anthony Edwards dialing in from distance.
Now Rudy with it up top, hand off to Ant, dances off that Gobert screen, lines up the 3 and hits it! His second straight after missing his first 4. Timberwolves up by 17 with 5.5 to go in the second.
Jokic is so far dropped. When Rudy hands that thing off to Ant, he reverses it. He's right in an open shot.
Jokic throws it away. Dante with a steal. Up ahead, Ayo to the cup. The driving layup is there. Jokic with an awful wing pass, and the Wolves make him pay.
12 Minnesota points off 7 Denver turnovers in that first half. The Wolves with a 12-2 edge in points scored off of turnovers. And like we said, Ayo Dosunmu getting out and running. Minnesota with the 14-1 edge in fast break scoring. Ayo had 14 points to lead the way for Minnesota. He led all scorers with those 14 points in his 15 minutes off the bench. 6 of 8 from the field for Ayo. In fact, let's make him our hot player of the half. Brought to you, as always, by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930. Visit them online at standardheating.com. But it wasn't just Ayo. He, had 14 to pace the way. Jaden McDaniels, we mentioned the 9 in the opening frame, continuing to make plays on both ends of the floor in that second.
Ayo's up to a dozen in 10 minutes of play. Brown inside. Oh, he got his layup blocked by Jaden McDaniels. Denver wants a goaltend. Wolves come back the other way. Here's McDaniels on the move in the lane, runs up the shot and hits it. The Wolves have blitzed the Nuggets here in this first half. They're up by 22.
Led it by as many as 23 late in that second quarter. Still a 22-point cushion currently at the intermission. 61-39. Jaden McDaniels, 13 first-half points, 5 boards, 2 dimes, a steal, and a block. Anthony Edwards had 11. Dante DiVincenzo just behind him with 10 and a team-best 5 assists. Julius Randle, 7 points and 5 boards. Rudy Gobert, just 3 points on the night, but how about 5 rebounds, 3 assists for Big Rue? And surprise, surprise, a team-best plus 22 in his 20 minutes. You can compare that to Nikola Jokic, who is the only Denver Nugget in double figures. He had 13. It took him 14 field goal attempts to get there. 4 of 14 from the field, 1 of 5 from distance, and he was a game worst, minus 22 in his 20 minutes. So the Denver Nuggets played Minnesota even in the 4 minutes he sat in that first half. We've kept a close eye on those minutes when Jokic is off the floor, and they were technically worse with him on the floor here this evening. So print the hot take T-shirts. Sit Nikola Jokic. We're only kidding. Timberwolves up 61-39 after 24 minutes of action. When we come back, we'll catch you up on action elsewhere across the association. 2 finals from earlier this Thursday evening. We'll tell you about it next on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Set a destination for the island and discover a world sure to satisfy every taste. Searching for the freshest seafood? Perhaps prime ribs more your style. Like to load up on mouth-watering sides? Maybe you're the salad bar type. Or simply indulge your sweet tooth. With our endless selections, why choose? Satisfy all your cravings. Trade Winds Buffet, only at Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Destination, fun.
It's playoff basketball. You got to do a little bit of everything.
The intensity levels are at an all-time high. These are the NBA playoffs. Every team looking to make a run.
This is incredible.
Every player looking to make history.
Give me all you got. Let's go.
So tune in, because this is going to be unbelievable.
This is exactly what we want.
The NBA playoffs presented by Google continue on ABC, ESPN, NBC, Peacock, and Prime.
Wolves fans, listen up. Pilot Games and your Minnesota Timberwolves just dropped the ultimate fan experience, the ETAB game, Let's Go Wolves. Play it right now at your local bar and chase massive prizes while you soak up every Wolves slam dunk and three-pointer.
What a win this is going to be!
Best part, every play powers local charities, so you're winning for the team and your community. So get out there, play, and show your Wolves pride. Brought to you by Pilot Games. Let's go Wolves.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
You're listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Jaden McDaniels and the Minnesota Timberwolves putting action behind their words in the first half here tonight at Target Center, blitzing the Denver Nuggets, taking it to the rim time after time after time, a 40-16 edge for the Timberwolves in the paint. That's right, 40 paint points compared to Denver's 16. The Wolves took care of the basketball phenomenally, just 3 turnovers compared to Denver's 7, a 12-2 edge in points off turnovers for Minnesota, and even the Wolves got out and ran a 14-1 edge against a shorthanded and reeling Denver Nuggets team without Aaron Gordon here tonight. Jaden had 13 points. Ayo Dosunmu led the way for the Wolves with 14 in his 15 minutes off the bench, and a phenomenal first half. Hard to script it any better in those first 24 minutes for the Timberwolves. We'll tell you quickly about scores elsewhere in the association, but let's first pause 10 quick seconds, allow our stations across our network to identify themselves here on your home for Timberwolves basketball. Wolves up 22 at the half. Two finals from earlier. The Raptors get back on track, a 126-104 victory at home against the Cavs. Toronto now trails that series 2-1. And the Hawks hang on at home, a 109-108 result against the Knicks. Atlanta's got a 2-1 lead in that series. The Wolves have a 22-point lead in Game 3 here tonight. We'll hear from assistant coach Pablo Prigioni next on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
What's the difference between banks and a credit union like Wings? One word: ownership. Banks are owned by shareholders, so profits go to shareholders. At Wings, you own it, literally. So profits are reinvested in your financial experience in the form of member-exclusive rates, robust digital services, and locations throughout Minnesota. No one likes switching, but it's time to stop missing out on the benefits of financial ownership. Visit wingcu.com/own it. Insured by NCUA. Membership required.
You're listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
At the half, Timberwolves in front of the Denver Nuggets in Game 3, 61-39, a 22-point advantage. Pablo Prigioni joins us here. Pablo, as good as that first half has gone, I imagine one of the messages to the guys is, hey, these guys have won a title in the last couple of years. There's going to be a push in the second half.
Well, they're really good in the third quarter. Probably one of the best teams in the league in the third quarter, so we got to be ready for them.
This is very similar to Game 2 in that 7-game series, too, a couple years ago, where Minnesota just really blitzed them in the second quarter of that game. Remember how Nikhil and Jaden were putting the clamps down. This game is a lot the same way, Pablo. Tremendous execution on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I think it all started with that ball pressure, Pick up ball, don't let him play comfortable. Everybody get into bodies and, pursue, force the tough shots, and then try to run on the other end.
Pablo, we appreciate the visit. Good luck second half.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, Pablo Prigioni along with us. We get set for the third quarter with the Wolves up by 22 points. Timberwolves basketball tonight brought to you in part by U.S. Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Timberwolves. And by Travel South Dakota. If you call yourself an explorer, now's the time to get out there and get lost somewhere you haven't found yet. Plan your next best adventure at TravelSouthDakota.com. Jim, the atmosphere on the concourse level, through the roof at halftime. Man, there were a lot of smiling faces. There was a lot of good vibes. And people are just fist-bumping each other and getting pretty fired up about what this Wolves team not only did in Game 2, but the first half of Game 3 here.
Spending time at Ball Arena in Denver. It's a great building, and they have a great fan base there in Denver. But Target Center is a snake pit. This place is a little bit different. And the energy that the fans give to the players is palpable. And this Target Center crowd, I think, fed into the energy that Minnesota brought.
Yeah, no doubt. Dark mode with the black T-shirts.
Yeah, it's just great.
It's a great look. A lot of people were talking about that, too. Right? Just in terms of whiteout versus darkout, the darkout looks much better to me. Nuggets have possession of the ball to begin the third quarter. They're trailing by 22. Wolves' largest lead was 23. Murray takes a handoff from Jokic, kicks out to Cam Johnson, steps into a left angle three, missed it long, battling for the rebound. Spencer Jones came away with it, but the ball is out of bounds to Minnesota.
Talk about that game back on May 6th of 2024 at Ball Arena, Game 2. 61-35 was the halftime score, but Minnesota outscored Denver 33-15 in that second quarter. Remember how great Nikhil was?
He and Jaden and the defense.
Yeah, they were a couple of pit bulls in that game.
And that's when Jamal Murray had his meltdown. Threw something onto the floor. In fact, did it twice. Rudy spins a couple of times on Jokic. Jump hook, got it! How about that? If that doesn't speak to Rudy's dominance over the three-time MVP, I don't know what does. Rudy has been awesome in this series. Jokic guarded by Edwards here. Off to Murray, right back to Jokic. Battles with a whistle and a defensive 3-second call against Rudy Gobert.
Ant was taking on the challenge, though. He was bodying up Nikola Jokic, he was getting ready to take it from him as Jokic was getting ready to spin to the rim.
And only 16 minutes in that first half, saddled with check that, 15 minutes with the 3 fouls.
Denver starters, 1 of 11 from 3 in that first half. Unbelievable. Bench was a little bit better, just 2 of 4, but the 3-point shooting has not been good for the Denver Nuggets. They're shooting 5 points lower than they did during the regular season. And Minnesota came into this game in games 1 and 2. They're tied in 3-point makes. Both made 12.5 a game. Minnesota shooting a better percentage.
Jokic will try another 3. That's offline. Edwards secures the rebound.
I just can't believe they're not posting Jokic up more.
And pulls up over 2 for the 3 ball. No. Rebound squirts out of Gobert's hands, but it comes out to the perimeter. Jaden McDaniels controls. And with it, left side against Jamal Murray. Bumps to the baseline, rises up 15-footer, drops in for 2. And has struggled from long range in this series, but his 2-point shooting has been excellent.
Another offensive rebound for Jaden McDaniels, too, by the way. He's got 4 in the game.
With 8 for the series. Murray, deep 3. That's offline. Gobert collects another rebound.
They are letting Minnesota off the hook here. They are not running any of their off-ball actions.
It kind of reminds me of when things go sideways for the Wolves offensively.
Yes, exactly.
And we see this, and you're just like, this is not the path to sustained success. That's exactly what's happened to Denver right now.
Minnesota is completely taking them out of the actions they want to run. With physicality.
And tried to feed Randall in the corner. Got stripped by Cam Johnson, who comes away with the basketball. Up by 25, Johnson into paint. To Spencer Jones, baseline jump hook, that rims off, and Rudy's got another rebound.
Minnesota hoovering up every rebound as well. A 31-23 advantage on the glass.
And splits 2, gets to the rim, easy lay-in for Edwards. People still have Hoovers? Is it a Bissell now?
I don't know.
In our household, it's Bissling up. It's Bissling up court. Doesn't quite roll off the tongue as well as Hoover, but
hey, it's the first hoop for Johnson and Jones in this game, by the way. Cam Johnson's 0 for 4. That's the first hoop between those 2 starters.
It's Dante inside. Oh, bumps Jokic out of the way. Couldn't get the roll off the back iron, and Jokic collects the rebound. To a rolling Cam Johnson. There's a lay-in. And a good cut. That's more like the Denver offense. But Johnson, Jones, and Brown have shot just 10 shots in this game. It's been all Jokic and Murray otherwise. Jokic clears a rebound. Feeds Murray, who drops it back. Cam Johnson run to the cup, lay-in good.
So just say that Johnson and Jones haven't scored. Now they've scored the last 6.
Yeah.
7-0 run for Denver right now.
67-47, 20-point game. Randall up top, Rudy Gobert. Right back to Randall. Julius crosses over around the Rudy screen. Steps through on Jokic. Did not get the lay-in, but he got the foul. 2 free throws coming up. Those are all hopping up and down off the bench. Nazari's got a big wrap on that right. Not so much, I guess it's up on the shoulder, but it looks mostly on the bicep.
It does.
And by the way, also at halftime, a lot of people were talking about the drone that's flying around here. Not a big fan of it. Getting in their sight lines and very distracting. So we're not the only ones.
It's like a fly that's buzzing around the room that just is annoying.
I mean, I guess it's just in the day and age we're in, but...
Well, I have to tell you, just going back and looking at the Amazon broadcast when they did that in games, I think it was just game 1.
Did they? Yeah, because we had...
Actually, it wasn't. I think it was an earlier regular season game. Towards the end of the season, Brady was there. You were giving him a hard time because that drone was in our eyes.
Oh, that was me. Yeah. I don't know where it was.
And went back and looked at it. It actually looks pretty cool on TV. It's, it's the reverse angle. It's not camera side they do it on. They do it on our side.
Jokic inside, rejected by Gobert. His second block of the Joker tonight. Randall back the other way. Driving layup is good. That symbolizes the night. Rudy with the defense at one end, and the Wolves cash in and transition at the other.
Rudy's trying to make a statement right now, Alan.
He certainly is. Jokic and DiVincenzo got tied up. Murray misses a baseline shot. They both go for the rebound. They're going to call a foul. Oh, on Anthony Edwards.
It's going to be his 4th.
It'll be 4 on Edwards. He flattened Murray, but It's two guys just going for the ball. Now, Murray does get possession of it, and it's just a split second late.
So you can bring in Io, that did such a great job in the first half. 15 minutes of play for Io Dosunmu in the first half. 6 of 8, 14 points.
So Edwards will come to the bench. Not in the act of shooting, so Denver will have it. Left to right across your radio. They'll inbound just beyond their bench towards center court. The winner of a Game 3 with the series tied 1-1 wins the series 74% of the time. Here's Jokic off the inbound. Oh, he's going to get called for an offensive foul. You bet. Dante took the contact right to the head. He's still down. Now he gets helped up. And Denver is going to burn another timeout. They have just 2 left. Well, if they win the challenge, they'll get it back. So a timeout on the floor with 7:54 to go in the third. Wolves up 70-47 on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Howell Timberwolves fans, McDonald's and the Wolves are teaming up to bring you the tastiest season ever. When the Wolves hit 11 threes, you score free medium fries with any $2 purchase. Home or away, when the Wolves heat up from beyond the arc, McDonald's has your fries craving covered. Just download the McDonald's app and check it daily for game day deals. Wolves hit 11 threes, fries are free. Only in the McDonald's app. Offer valid one time for 2 days after the Timberwolves score 11 threes through 6/30/26 at participating McDonald's. Excludes tax, must opt into rewards.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024, U.S. Bank.
Looking for reliable heating and cooling solutions? At Hoffman Cooling and Heating, we keep your home comfortable all year round. With summer heat right around the corner, now's the perfect time for our $59 AC performance check, ensuring your system is running efficiently when you need it most. Have an emergency? Our expert technicians are on call 24/7, ready to assist Twin Cities residents. Call us today at 612-255-5883 or visit hoffmanheating.net. Hoffman Cooling and Heating. Your comfort is our priority.
Splash, splash, splash. Apply a little splash. When your windshield's getting dirty, just apply a little splash. When your windshield's full of grime, bugs, dirt, and snow, just use a little splash and be safe on the road. Splash, splash, splash. Apply a little splash. When your windshield's getting dirty, just apply a little splash. See safely on the road when you apply a little splash.
.54 left to go in the third quarter. Timberwolves in front 70-47. The Denver challenge is successful, which is really interesting, Jim, because Dante closes out to Jokic, who's about 20 feet out, and goes into a shooting motion. And they said that Dante encroached on Jokic's space, and therefore the elbow that comes up and clearly clocks Dante in the chin is going to be a foul on DiVincenzo. Right. Basically, it's called for putting his chin in the way of his elbow.
Yeah, it's just one of those head scratchers. You want to almost mark those, and you want to put them and see if you can get some kind of clarification from a referee of why that's a foul on Dante DiVincenzo. It's also a call where when Scott Foster makes the call, he's not going to reverse his own call either.
That is true. Although,
was it Justin Van Dyne that made that call?
I thought it was Sean Corbin.
Sean Corbin made it? Okay.
But it is interesting, a fine line between, is it the offensive player that's extending into the defender space, or the defender moving into the offensive player space? And they showed the replay. Unfortunately for Dante, they showed it like 74 times in the arena. I think he's, having looked up at it, probably, hopefully does not end up in the concussion protocol with all the replays he had to watch of his head snapping back and taking contact with the chin.
It was Sean Corbin that made that call, by the way. That's why we call him Super Stats Dave.
Yep. 70-49 is Jokic, 6 for 6 at the free throw line. Timberwolves up by 21. They've got possession with Dante and Ayo in the backcourt. Jaden McDaniels, Julius Randle, and Rudy Gobert up front. Ants on the bench with 4 fouls. Randle into the paint, ran it up. It came up short. A long rebound scooped up by Cam Johnson to Christian Brown. He does not finish in transition where he's so good.
Great contest by Ayo at the rim.
Ayo pushes the pace out to Dante wing right. Run off the three-point line. Steps through in the lane. Now Randle left angle. He'll catch. He'll shoot. The 3-ball online but short. He'll catch the rebound. It's grab and go up the center of the floor. Out of his left, it's Cam Johnson on the drive. Runs into Ayo. Throws up a wild shot. Somewhere in there, a whistle and a foul.
Dante literally has his arms straight up in the air as he's trying to contest Cam Johnson, trying to angle him off. Cam Johnson is really initiating the contact. Dante did everything he could. He was not in legal guarding position, but it's another one of those calls, Alan. Is it Dante's fault that Johnson angles him off and runs into his body? It seems to me that Dante DiVincenzo is able to run on his line, and Johnson veered into Dante's line. It just doesn't seem like a good call to me.
But a couple of things here, like this is now 2 calls in a row, and you have to expect in this second half with the score where it is, the officials are going to err to the side of the team that's down by 20-plus points. And the Wolves have to, as Chris Finch has talked about, handle the adversity. Don't get too high, don't get too low. You don't have a challenge, so let's not worry about that. But just play solid. Cam Johnson makes it a 19-point game. Denver 11-3 run over the last 219. Wolves led by as many as 27. In fact, this run started when the Wolves were up 27. Ayo probes, backs it out, 8 to shoot. Dante DiVincenzo with it up top. Switches places with Ayo. Switches defenders too. Takes Brown baseline, puts up the shot. It's blocked out of bounds. Royce will have 0.2 of a second left to shoot. Well, Gobert is on the floor. You got to get something on a tip. There's the lob. Jaden with the tip up towards the rim.
You can't catch and shoot in .2, so Trent Tucker rule comes to effect even there.
He would have had to bat it.
Yeah, he needed to tip that.
Which is tough to do when you're not at the rim. And Jaden was leaning in from the dotted line. 70-51. Here come the Nuggets left to right. Jokic has 15 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists. They'll fire on the 3, left angle, off the back iron. No, another missed 3 by Jokic. He's missed 6 of 7 here tonight. There's Naz Reid. Dante DiVincenzo up top, gets a Rudy screen. Bounce pass to Naz in the corner. Works on Spencer. Jones is getting awfully handsy along the baseline. Naz stretches. The release valve is Rudy at the elbow. Spins on Jokic. Puts it up with left hand. Oh, it's circled out. Jokic collects the rebound, and he is fouled. Jokic always thinking. Immediately put his arms out for a transition take foul.
I mean, Rudy Gobert gets that basketball. The shot clock was winding down. He had to get his shot up, and he freelanced on that one a little bit. He went to the scoop shot underneath the arm of Nikola Jokic.
Rudy called for the foul. That is his second of the game. Dante takes a breather with 6:22 to go in the third. Bones Highland in. Christian Brown feeds it up ahead to Nikola Jokic, left wing. Jokic puts on the deck with the right hand, drives all the way to the cup and got the lay-in. Well, that's his easiest shot maybe of the last 2 games.
Joker's got 17 and 12 in the game, right? It's amazing how he accumulates statistics when it seems like they've shut him down.
Bones off the Gobert screen, pops on the 3 and hits it. The Wolves have missed 4 straight shots until Bones comes through off the bench. 73-53, back to a 20-point lead. Jokic up top. Wing left, here's Christian Brown. Jokic comes, sets the screen. Brown turns the corner in the lane, circles out when he runs into Gobert. Now Jokic against Naz Reid. Spins, free throw line, jumper short. Rudy snares the rebound. Here's Ayo on the push, up the right side. Crashes into Christian Brown, and an offensive foul. So again, there's another call that goes Denver's way. You just got to move on from it. Again, it's Scott Foster. Again, I don't know that Christian Brown is set there.
He's not. He's moving to his right.
Yeah, it's an awful call. It's an awful call, but again, these are what's going to happen, especially with Scott Foster. 73-53. Murray just hounded by McDaniels. You can see him starting to go frustrated. Jokic goes to work on Gobert inside. The one-footed fall away from the free throw line comes up short again. Rudy holding opponents to 35% shooting when he's the primary defender in this series.
Jokic 5 of 20 in the game.
Woo, those numbers are only going to go down in a good way for Rudy Gobert. Brown called for a shove on Bones Highland. That whistle goes the Wolves' way. Third team foul against Denver.
The other thing you got to brace yourself for is that the Denver Nuggets are going to make a run here sooner or later. 5 minutes to go in the third.
Stop at the key against Jokic. Drives in, runs it up, off glass, and hits it. Wow. We just talked about Rudy's defensive field goal percentage. I have not looked up what Jokic's defensive field goal percentage is. And that's illegal. Setting the screen that picks off McDaniels. Murray drives, and he gets the whistle at the other end. Wow. Jokic was not set at midcourt. I mean, he's leaning in.
He totally leaned in on Jaden that time. These are the referees putting their hands on the scale of the game right now.
Yep. I mean, that's blatant. That's how somebody gets hurt, too.
And that's meant to hurt him, too, by the way. The way that he got his elbow up into the rib cage of Jaden McDaniels.
That's 285 pounds coming down on you. And Murray misses the free throw. Again, can't lose composure, though. That's now 4 or 5 whistles that have gone against the Wolves here in this quarter.
Chris Finch is slow burning down there. He's not lost it yet.
75-53. Murray goes 1 out of 2 at the line. 21-point advantage with under 5 to go in the third quarter.
Zone defense here from the Nuggets.
They're trying to get something going. The Wolves were pretty good in 5 possessions they faced against Denver zone in game 2. There's Bones to the baseline, knocks over Spencer Jones. The jumper no good, and a clear foul inside. Jokic just shoving McDaniels.
Well, Bruce Brown was in there too, shoving him. They're going to call it on Bruce Brown.
I thought it was on Jokic. And the Wolves are going to call a timeout here. Things have gone a little bit sideways. 4:26 left to go in the third. They're up by 21. They've got possession when we come back on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope. It's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA Store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
At Target, we're home court advantage for the hometown sports fans. And with the Timberwolves season in full gear, we're here to help you gear up and make your game day prep a slam dunk. Hear that? That's what you call a buzzer-beating three-pointer for the win. Time to dish up your famous nachos or put a full-court press on some jalapeno poppers. Then serve up some sweet desserts to celebrate the W. However you do game day, we're here for it at Target and Target.com.
Time for another scoreboard update from our NBA Tonight studios. Only game still underway on this Thursday evening is the one you're listening to right now. The 2 finals from earlier, the Toronto Raptors hang on and pull away in the fourth quarter for a 124-104 victory at home against the Cavs. So it's now a 2-1 advantage for 4th-seeded Cleveland in that series. Game 4 set for Saturday, once again in Toronto. Scotty Barnes and R.J. Barrett, 33 apiece in that game as they pulled away with a 36-16 run to close the contest. And in Atlanta, the Hawks hang on for a 109-108 victory. The New York Knicks did rally, erasing an 18-point deficit. They had a late lead, but a Jalen Johnson bucket got the Hawks to within 1. C.J. McCollum then hit the game winner. Jalen Brunson and the Knicks had one final chance but could not get a shot off as time expired. Jonathan Kuminga, of course, trusting C.J. McCollum in his big game prowess.
It's a game of basketball. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs. Obviously, they're a good team. We stay poised. We trust CJ to take that shot, and then we trust the rest of the team to play defense at the end of the game.
C.J. McCollum had 23. Kuminga added 21, and the Hawks get the victory. They lead that series 2-1. Back to Alan and Jim.
All right, Cal, thank you very much. 4:26 left to go in the third. 75-54. It's the Wolves who are up by 21 points. Timberwolves basketball tonight presented by Wings Credit Union. Put Wings Credit Union in your starting lineup to help meet your financial goals. Wings members enjoy some of Minnesota's best savings and lending rates, convenient digital banking, and access to over 80,000 surcharge-free ATMs. Visit wingscu.com to learn more. Insured by NCUA, membership required. Like the timeout from Chris Finch, just to kind of settle things down. Some calls have gone against them. It's got a little bit out of control here, even though you still lead by 21. I thought that was a well-timed break.
Hit the reset button, reacclimate to, and then, the free throw disparity is the only thing that the Denver Nuggets are really dominating. The second chance points, too. That's one thing. It's a 13-4 advantage, but they've missed so many shots in this game. They were going to always have more opportunities to rebound misses and put them back and cash in, and they have done that.
Bulls have it out of the timeout. Bones and Ayo in the backcourt together against the zone defense for Denver. Now Nasri, baseline, one to shoot, runs it up with the left hand, off the back iron. No tip, follow Ayo Dosunmu. Second chance points. Wolves were really good in game 2. Trying to play catch-up now in game 3.
Yeah, it's been wild swings from game 1. I mean, game 1, that's where Denver dominated. Minnesota dominated game 2, and Minnesota trying to catch up here with that Ayo putback.
Here's Murray on the right side, backing down McDaniel. Spins away from him, goes to the left hand, couldn't get the finish. Terrific defense without fouling. Jaden now with it, top of the key. Out to Nas, angle 3 on the way. Yo! It swirled out.
How did that not go in?
Jokic has got the rebound. Rudy tracking him down from behind. Now Jokic cross court. Spencer Jones out to Bruce Brown. Now Jokic with it. Top of the key. Unlocked movement from his teammates as Murray comes to, and his foul by Ayo Dosunmu.
The personal fouls are 17 to 11. And I'm not saying Minnesota's not fouling, because they are, but there have been just a few questionable calls here going against Minnesota. David Adelman having long conversations during the timeouts, going all the way to the other side of the floor, almost in front of the other broadcasters from Amazon. I mean, that's a long way to travel to go talk to referees.
Well, it's Kevin Harlan over there. He wants to go say hi. You got to say hi to the legend. Kevin Harlan on the broadcast, Amazon Prime, with Candace Parker and Dwayne Wade.
They did game 1. Michael Grady and Austin Rivers did game 2 with Brian Scalabrine. And the Denver fans were upset. They thought that Grady and Austin Rivers were pro-Minnesota.
There was a great tweet. I wish I could give credit to whoever had it. But he said, I've been listening to national broadcasts who don't know anything about Minnesota or the Timberwolves for decades. And finally, we get somebody who knows something about the Timberwolves.
Right.
So it's all good in my book.
The funny thing is Austin Rivers played longer for the Denver Nuggets than he did for the Minnesota Timberwolves. So
I guess he did. I don't know that there's good of feelings with Denver as there are with Minnesota, though, for him.
No.
Austin's really been good this year on the broadcast, especially when he's at the end of the bench. Robbie Hummel, former Timberwolf. Jokic fires on a 3. That clangs off. Nasri, terrific rebound. Here comes Bones. Little pace, little purpose. Crossover. Spencer Jones almost went down. Now Rudy. Bones going to pop on a deep straightaway 3 and hit it! Give me the Skelly Selly! Not only get that, you get a little hop and skip into his bounce. 80 to 56. And a whistle and a foul.
Chris Finch. That's how you got to kind of settle down. And he hits the shot, but he was so hyped up when Jokic came to set the screen on him. He took 2 hands and shoved him in the chest. Jaden McDaniels comes over and slaps Bone 5, though, and says, I got you.
I don't know if we've seen the Skelly Selly with the kind of hopping up and down like that. That was a unique one. I haven't seen in person the twin turbos shirts that they now have.
Oh, I have not seen them either. I bet they're on Twitter. If you just go on and
Bones,
check it out.
No, I mean in person. Bones was shown his yesterday after practice. Dante DiVincenzo is going to come back in the game. Jaden McDaniels will sit. 13 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. It's interesting. Jaden is still without a steal or a block. Nope. I'm looking at the wrong stat sheet. In the quarter, he doesn't. In the game, he does. His first block and his first steal of the series coming tonight. 80-58. After Jokic stays perfect at the line, he's 8 for 8. Holds off the Nas screen. Back to the rollers. The lob to the rim, and Rudy hammers it through. It's the first lob dunk for Rudy Gobert in this series. And it puts the Wolves up by 24. Jokic rumbles left. Got a nice back screen from Tim Hardaway Jr., but his right-handed floater comes up short. Ayo with a rebound on the push, looking to attack Bruce Brown right to the cup in traffic. Shot no. Whistle and a foul, though. Scott Foster will send Ayo Dosunmu to the free throw line.
When Ayo hasn't finished at the rim, he's gotten fouled. He's already hit 2 free throws in the game. He's got 16 points. He has the 1 offensive rebound putback, but he has been so good in broken floor situations, sifting his way through traffic, and he saloon doors defenders as well as anybody you'll see and finish.
The free throw is short from Ayo. He got scooped up off the floor by Anthony Edwards, who popped off the bench. Ant has 15 points in this game. It marks the 45th straight game in the postseason for Ant with 15 or more points. That's the 4th longest streak all time. He's got a little bit of a ways to catch Michael Jordan. 179 straight games of 15 or more.
The Joker's 1 of 8 in the quarter. The only way that he's profiting is getting to the free throw line.
Julian Strother attacks with his length. Missed the shot, but cleaning it up. Nikola Jokic.
6th field goal of the game. 6 of 23 for Nikola Jokic in this game. 1 of 8 from 3.
Murray right behind him. 3 of 12 and 0 of 4 from distance. Murray's on the bench right now, getting set to start the 4th. Island with it, left side of the floor. Guarded by Zeke Naji. Now switched on to Jokic, drives, kick out. Ayo right side, 8 to shoot. He'll penetrate into the paint, circling around. Now 15 feet out, baseline left, comes back to the middle. And he got his shot blocked, but contact will send him to the free throw line. This one will go against Nikola Jokic, his 2nd foul.
Ayo Dosunmu is Steve Nash-like right now, the way that he's probing and going down the baseline. They always talked about Steve Nash being like Wayne Gretzky, right? Circling and cycling behind the net.
Yeah.
Coming back out. Nash was a master at it. Ayo doing that a few times in this game. We've seen that a lot from Ayo. Keeps his dribble alive, keeps his options open, tries to find somebody, if not for himself, someone else.
Well, I can see both of those guys. You mentioned Gretzky and Nash doing exactly that. Nash was just continued that dribble forever. Oh, and a great one.
Didn't appreciate Steve Nash enough. I mean, I really enjoyed his career, and I enjoyed him in Dallas, and really it was because he was always killing Minnesota in a Mavericks uniform or in a Suns uniform.
2 free throws good for Ayo Dosunmu. Off the bench, Ayo with 19 points. He's the leading scorer for Minnesota. Wolves are shooting 51% now. Denver at 29.5%. Dante, a little too aggressive with Julian Strother. Strother was coming over to try to get a dribble handoff from Jokic.
Dante's saying that Strother is completely embellishing the contact. Dante's just trying to prevent the screen that Strother is trying to set on Rudy Gobert. They set those small, big pick and rolls when Jokic has the basketball. And Dante was just trying to prevent that screen, and Strother completely sold it, but misses the first free throw, so ball don't lie.
Yeah. Ball don't lie. One out of 2 for Strother at the line. It's 85-61. Timberwolves still up by 24. Done a nice job in this 3rd quarter just maintaining that cushion.
27 free throw attempts for Denver here in the game. It's a lot.
Bones moves to the left side. Here's Ayo off the Rudy screen. A whistle and a foul on the floor. I think Rudy may have been held there. Goes against Strother. Yeah, they are going to send Rudy Gobert to the free throw line.
He was getting ready to be a lob dunk if he didn't do that.
Rudy is 1 for 1 at the free throw line tonight. First one is long. Fans, the postseason hunt is here, and you don't want to miss it. Secure your seats for postseason action right now. Get your tickets at Timberwolves.com/playoffs. 1 out of 2 for Rudy Gobert. Game 4 is set for Saturday night, 7:30 tip time. Bruce Brown, hounded by McDaniels, coming across midcourt, runs to the right side of the floor, sets up Tim Hardaway Jr. open, three-point look straight away. He jumps into that and knocks it down.
Great action that time. Off-ball screen by Jokic to free up Tim Hardaway Jr. on that away screen. Comes right to the top of the circle and knocks it down.
Hardaway Jr. finished up 3rd in 6th Man of the Year voting. Here's Bones along the baseline. Finds Naz Reid in the corner right in front of his own bench. Missed the 3 long. Strother with the rebound. 30 seconds left to go in the 3rd. Bulls by 22. Hardaway guarded by Naz Reid. Rudy's got Jokic. Hardaway on the move. Takes the contact. Floats up the shot. No. Naz picks up another foul. That's his 4th. I feel like Naz gets called for that foul a lot when he's...
It's a hard thing to chase these guards. I mean, think about what he's doing. Another foul on Minnesota and more free throw attempts here for the Denver Nuggets.
Yikes, 14 and 15 of the quarter.
It's one of the things that is so different about the modern NBA is you're asking 6'10" power forwards / centers to chase 2 and 3 guards.
Yeah.
Small forwards and 2 guards in this league, and it's just such a difficult thing. And you know what? I think Naz does a pretty good job given the fact that he's being asked to do things that are virtually impossible.
86-66, 20-point Wolves lead.
That's the modern switching concept, though, in the NBA. You're asked to do all this stuff, and it's unbelievable how these big athletes do it.
Ohio takes off down the lane and gets the lay-in. Spencer Jones couldn't get over there in time. Io with 2 more. He's got 21. A new playoff career high for Dosunmu. Driving back the other way, Bruce Brown, the reverse layup is good.
See, that's all those in-transition screens that they set. As Io fires from 3/4 court. He got it pretty far and almost online.
The heave does not drop.
No.
We go to the 4th. We make the turn for home. The Timberwolves 88, the Nuggets 68. The Wolves 12 minutes away from going up 2-1 in this best-of-7 series on the Minnesota Timberwolves Radio Network.
And we are joined now with Dr. Dan Childs, medical oncologist at Mayo Clinic Comprehensive Cancer Center. Dr. Childs, I read recently that about 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during their lifetime. Is that accurate?
Cal, that's true. This is a very common disease, and screening is key. We want to catch this cancer early, and we want to cure it.
And how do you decide on the best treatment?
First, it's important to determine how aggressive the cancer is and whether it's spread to other areas of the body. Now, to do this, we use a combination of blood tests, biopsies, genetic testing, and state-of-the-art advanced imaging to understand more about the cancer's behavior. Now, after we have that information, we talk with our patient about what their treatment options are.
It's really interesting. And you mentioned the treatment options. As it pertains to those, treatment of advanced prostate cancer, how have things changed and evolved over the years?
Well, historically, there were a limited number of treatment options beyond chemotherapy. However, today at Mayo Clinic, we're using new hormone therapies, targeted treatments based on a cancer's unique genetic profile, immunotherapies, and even highly effective radioactive medications that can precisely target the cancer cells while largely sparing the rest of the body. Now, these treatments help our patients live longer, and they make them feel better.
Well, we thank you, Dr. Childs, for your time and knowledge. And for more information on Dr. Childs and the incredible work that is being done at Mayo Clinic Comprehensive Cancer Center, visit mayoclinic.org/possible.
As a business owner, do you have a game plan in place to stay focused on safety and preventing claims? Let our team help support your business. Federated Insurance offers a customizable lineup of industry-specific coverages and risk management services to help you continue your winning streak. At Federated Mutual Insurance Company, It's our business to protect yours. Rated A+ Superior by AM Best Company.
You're listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Minutes up on the scoreboard. Fourth and final quarter about to get underway. Game 3 has been dominated by Minnesota. Denver's not had the lead. They have not had this game tied up. They've been down by as many as 27 points. The lead is exactly 20 as we make the turn for home, 88-68. The Wolves' defensive rating in this game, Jim, is a 90. The number one offense in the NBA in Game 1 had a 114 offensive rating. It was a 111 in Game 2. It's currently a 90 here in Game 3. Still a long ways to go, but this Minnesota defense seems like it's getting pretty comfortable against this Denver offense.
You've held Nikola Jokic to 6 of 23 shooting. Jamal Murray, 3 of 12. The first 6 quarters of this series, Jamal Murray was 15 of 36. He had 53 points in that stretch. The last 5 quarters, just 6 of 23 for Jamal Murray, 19 points. And he's having the greatest career season for him. Shot it so great, scored at will. Minnesota shutting him down as Minnesota turns it over here out of the timeout.
Bones and Randall could not connect to the pick and roll. Hardaway turns that into 3. No, off the back iron, and Jaden McDaniels rips down the rebound.
9th rebound of the game for Jaden.
13 points to go along with those 9 boards. Still up by 20. Wing right, Anthony Edwards has only played 20 minutes in this game. He's been saddled with 4 fouls. He turns, fires on the jumper, comes up short. Naz Reid is set perfectly to receive that. His out pass to the perimeter is deflected by Murray out of bounds. 7 on the shot clock. Wolves begin the 4th with Bones and Ant in the backcourt. Jaden, Julius, and Naz up front. Jokic off the floor. Jokic a minus 20 in 32 minutes tonight. Bones deep clock. Has to fire from 35 feet and hit the rim.
That was by the Ian target at center court there.
That was a long way out. Zeke Naji dives to the cup. Too strong off the glass, but lots of contact will send him to the free throw line for 2 shots.
They're not going to give it to Naz Reid. Give it to Julius Randle. He can absorb a personal foul. Naz Reid has 4 right now. That's just the second foul on Julius Randle.
Well, a constant theme in this series has been the Wolves fouling.
Yeah.
They got 21 so far tonight. We still have 11 minutes to go.
You know, I think some of the fouling, when you go back and look at it and you watch the video, some of the fouling that Minnesota's done, it has really disrupted the rhythm of the Denver Nuggets.
It's not been a completely bad thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why their defensive rating has been so good. Denver's not been able to get in a good rhythm, and they've had to rely too much on Jokic and Murray. 88-70 after Zeke Naji hits 2 free throws. 18-point game, and inside of midcourt, guarded by Bruce Brown. Wing left to McDaniels. Zone defense by Denver once again. Randall one-on-one against Naji. Just bullies him out of the way to the cup. Missed the layup short. Now Zeke Naji with the rebound. Murray on the push. Left side Brown. Extra pass. He had Hardaway. He doesn't pass it to him. Floats it up in the paint. Shot no. And Naz Reid the rebound. Boy, that's really emblematic of how Denver's offense struggled. Tim Hardaway Jr.'s all alone in the corner. Bruce Brown wouldn't give it to him. Tough feed from Naz Reid. He just threw it right at the ankles of Ant. Skips out of bounds.
Julius is just 4 of 12 in this game. He's got to finish some of those inside, especially against the zone when he's one-on-one against Zeke Naji. You can't miss layups like that.
A whistle and a foul. It'll go against Bones Highland. Apparently grabbed the jersey of Tim Hardaway Jr. It's a second team foul early in the quarter. There's Murray to the free throw line. Off balance, puts up the shot, hits it. Just his 4th field goal of the game. He's got 14 points. 16-point game. Crowd trying to cheer on the Wolves here as Ayo and Kyle Anderson head to the scorer's table. Haven't seen Kyle Anderson tonight. No Mike Conley either. Ant launches a three. Off iron, no. All alone for the rebound is Bruce Brown.
11-2 run for Denver going back to the third quarter.
Off the staggered screen, Murray to the right side. Falls away on a 16-footer. In and out, no, and the Wolves have the rebound. 9:50 left to go. And jogs it up across the timeline. Bulls now shooting 48%. Edwards against Tim Hardaway. One-on-one here. Drives in, lost the ball. It's out of bounds. It was deflected. Last touch by Spencer Jones.
Kyle Anderson's going to come in for Naz Reid. They're going to put Kyle in for defensive purposes, but also to play the middle of that zone as well. Offensively, that is.
Little zone buster. 11 to shoot, and along the baseline. They lob it into Kyle Anderson. Daniels, right side, Edwards. Couple of dribbles to the baseline, runs into two. Bounces it off to Randall. Free throw line extended to Ayo down the lane. Layup is good.
Boy, how about that off-ball cut by Ayo Dosunmu in front of the Wolves bench is where he started. Cuts right down Main Street. Great pass by Julius Randle.
Here's Murray with it, right side against Randall. Oh, got away with a step, falls away on the 16-footer, no good. Rebound spiked off the floor by McDaniel, scooped up by Dosunmu. Here's Ant on the move, on the attack, in the lane, runs up the shot, no. He'll go to the free throw line for two. And he comes up, just kind of grabbing that right knee a little bit. Jim, what he's been able to do, still battling through that right knee, still battling through getting back into, game shape, has been pretty incredible. And to have to do it in a playoff series against this opponent, and put up the numbers and lead his team, 9 minutes away from going up 2-1, that's pretty darn impressive.
Chris Finch has not tried to limit his minutes either, because he played a game-high 38 minutes the first game, a game-high 40 minutes in game two. He's not played as much tonight as you mentioned because he's been saddled with foul trouble. Sometimes you wonder if Ant's playing a little game sometimes, making it look like he's more hurt than he actually is.
Maybe.
Hands those two free throws.
92-72. The lead is back to 20 with 9 minutes left to play.
4-0 run for Minnesota. You could hear the net rip on the radio. Both of those free throws hit nothing but nylon.
It's because our engineer, Mike Weber, is just hanging on the stanchion right now with a microphone down there. The crowd loves the defensive effort. Jaden McDaniels on Murray. Step back, straightaway three. That circles out. Rebound tapped out. And Brown has the rebound. A whistle somehow in there.
Kyle Anderson's going to be called for the foul here.
Fouls on Kyle Anderson. That's his first personal foul.
Third team foul against the Wolves. 8:47 to go in the quarter, so no free throws here for Denver. Hardaway, Murray, Najee, Jones, and Brown on the floor, as in Bruce Brown, not Christian Brown. Spencer Jones, corner three, drops it in.
He's an excellent three-point shooter at Stanford. He's been a good three-point shooter at the pro level.
40% this season.
Over and back. Unbelievable. The pass by Julius Randle was backwards to Anthony Edwards, and he hadn't established himself into the front court. It's the 7th turnover of the half for Minnesota. Just 3 in the first half.
I feel like the Wolves have had a ton of those over and back mistakes.
They've only given up 4 points off of the 10 turnovers, but they do have a chance to add to that here if they score.
Bruce Brown left of the lane, runs into two, circles back out to the perimeter, drives on Ian, across the lane. Hand off to Hardaway. He'll take a dribble, pop on the three. That's not the strength of his game. That glances off the side of the rim. It goes out of bounds opposite the Denver bench.
Expect Nikola Jokic to come back any second. We're at the 8:10 mark. He only sits for normally 4 minutes of the fourth quarter.
He's already played 31 minutes. Yeah, he's been averaging 40 minutes a game. Here's Kyle Anderson. Handoff. Jaden McDaniels. He'll pop on a straightaway three. That's the one part of Jaden's game that has not come back since the injury.
7 of 28 for Minnesota from outside the arc.
Jaden 0 for 2 from distance. Tim Hardaway Jr. drives left side. Got fouled. Looks like it will go against Anthony Edwards. In that case, it'll be his 5th. And right on cue, Jim. Here comes Nikola Jokic with 7:47 left to play.
Minnesota reaching that time. Anthony Edwards trying to dislodge that basketball from Tim Hardaway. Julius reached in there as well. It's going to be the 32nd and 33rd free throws of the game for Denver, but they've missed some tonight. They're just 25 of 32.
Well, the crowd thinks they're still bricking for chicken. I don't know that they're going to get the payoff that they think there's coming. Although I think they'll take the 2 missed free throws to try to win a playoff game. And Hardaway hits the jumper.
Oh, is the bricking for chicken not a thing right now during the playoffs?
I don't think it continues into the postseason. It just suddenly stops.
Well, that seems like a missed opportunity.
I would agree. Randall into the paint, runs it up with the left hand. That was too easy.
That's what I'm talking
Jokic
about.
is just flat-footed in there watching all of this happen. You know, we played that soundbite of David Adelman talking about Denver's defense. When you start off saying, when you're asked about your defense, you start off talking about how great your offense is, you know you might have a problem.
Great
Denver
poke away.
turns it over. Dante feeds it behind Ayo Dosunmu, and somehow Bruce Brown tracks it down far side. Hardaway with it. Inside Jokic to the corner. Jones now to Murray. Bounce pass inside Jokic. He lost it on the way up. It's out of bounds. They're going to award it to Denver.
When Joker came back into the game, Chris Finch went right back to Rudy Gobert to take Kyle Anderson out.
Inbound to Jokic in the corner. He's going to fire on the 3. Off the back iron. No. He's 1 for 9 on his threes tonight. He's 4 for 23 in the series. McDaniels inside. Oh, scores it right over the Joker. Just floats it up and in. Jaden has backed it up tonight. 15 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal and a block. Brown into the paint, drops it back out. Jokic's going to fire away again. Oh, this time he hits. His second 3 in 10 tries tonight. Timberwolves up 96-79. Time out on the floor. We step aside from Target Center here in Game 3 with the Wolves leading it by 17 on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Wolves fans, this is playoff basketball. Every move matters, so why leave your fit to chance? At Trade Home Shoes, our in-store real fit experience helps take the guesswork out of comfort. How? 3D foot scan, personalized fitting, expert advice just for you. With top brands like New Balance, Hoka, On, Birkenstock, Rival, and more, Trade Home Shoes' real fit experience makes all the difference when every game and every step matters. Trade Home Shoes. Enjoy life. Feet first.
Wolves fans, listen up. Pilot Games and your Minnesota Timberwolves just dropped the ultimate fan experience, the ETAB game, Let's Go Wolves. Play it right now at your local bar and chase massive prizes while you soak up every Wolves slam dunk and three-pointer.
What a win this is going to be!
Best part, every play powers local charities, so you're winning for the team and your community. So get out there, play, and show your Wolves pride. Brought to you by Pilot Games. Let's go Wolves.
Looking for reliable heating and cooling solutions? At Hoffman Cooling and Heating, we keep your home comfortable all year round. With summer heat right around the corner, now's the perfect time for our $59 AC performance check, ensuring your system is running efficiently when you need it most. Have an emergency? Our expert technicians are on call 24/7, ready to assist Twin Cities residents. Call us today at 612-255-5883 or visit hoffmanheating.net. Hoffman Cooling and Heating. Your comfort is our priority.
Bring the fun to family time with a visit to Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Start by making a splash and memories at the lagoon. Our indoor water park includes a lazy river, an activity pool, and more exciting features. Then hit the lanes at Island Extreme Bowl for some family-friendly competition before you head to our luxurious hotel for a relaxing night away. Book your stay now at ticasino.com. Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Destination fun.
.37 left to play in the fourth quarter. Timberwolves lead the Nuggets in Game 3, 96-79. Good news all the way around. Wolves are up by 17 with that 6:37 left to play. And Claire, sales rep, touched base with
Claire
us.
Smith, yeah.
The bricking for chicken, 2 missed free throws in the fourth quarter, or overtime. Yeah, let's go overtime too.
Sure, why not?
Why not? You're making the rules. Is still in effect for the postseason.
Thank you,
So
Claire.
let's go. Now we just need 2 missed free throws. It did not happen as frequently as we would have liked in the regular season. It happened just 4 times in the last 16 games. Just 10 times all year. KG up on the big board. What year do you think that was filmed from KG? Early on.
2000?
I like it.
Yeah, it's great. 1999? It's vintage, and when KG was here at the last game against New Orleans, he was here with his 2 daughters. They played that. His daughters were just mortified by the thing.
Timberwolves have it out of the timeout. Ayo Dosunmu right wing to McDaniels, facing his own defense by Denver. Ayo breaks that down, bounce pass underneath. Rudy couldn't get the lay-in. Rudy got fouled by Jokic. Clear foul by Jokic. That's his 3rd. Rudy to the free throw line for 2.
Rudy is 2 or 3 from the free throw line. He's looking to get into double figures. 8 points, 10 rebounds for Gobert. How about 15 points and 10 rebounds for Jaden McDaniels?
Playoff double-double.
Rebounding. Rudy Gobert is a plus 21, and his minutes have matched with Jokic, making a plus 22 because he cans the first one. Jokic is a minus 22.
That is beautiful. Say it again.
Jokic is a minus 22. Unbelievable.
Minus 23.
You know what? We should give Brickett for chicken when Rudy makes 2.
Absolutely. Since you're making the rules, we can do anything we want.
We need to talk to Claire Smith about that.
There's Spencer Jones, wing right. Now Jamal Murray with 6:11 left to play. 98-79. The Wolves are up by 19. Well read there as Jokic cut down the lane. Jade couldn't get the block on Murray. Murray scores it. But Rudy read that so well. Jokic with a late cut. He went right with him, preventing the pass to Jokic at the rim. Ayo Dosunmu off the Gobert screen.
I mean, you're working clock right now, right, with this lead in time and score?
You do want to work some clock, no doubt about it. Ayo sets up right angle 3. Online, no. Spencer Jones the rebound. It's a 17-point lead.
Making shots would be good, too, though.
Oftentimes, you bleed clock. It takes you out of your offensive rhythm. Here's Murray on a handoff, and now an offensive foul. It goes against Spencer Jones, who got tangled up with Jaden McDaniels. Jaden has just had a whale of a night. His 3rd career double-double in the postseason. He had 2 of them in the Western Conference Finals playoff run last year. Ayo wing left. Sets up, Randall spins inside, up on the left hand. Oh, Rudy had the rebound, couldn't slam it home. Rebound still loose. Jokic saved it out to Murray.
Wow, what a save. He really did a nice job of saving the ball, but throwing it out towards the timeline right to his teammate.
Boy, Jaden is all over Murray. Jokic fires on a 3, and Rudy had his hand out, and he got caught. We're going to check to see if this is a 2 or a 3. Scott Foster right now says it's a 2.
I don't know why Rudy decides to hold his arm out like that. There really is no good reason to have your arm extended when Nikola Jokic is towing the three-point line. That's exactly when he's going to go into a shot motion.
And when he's 5 for 24 in the series, you want him shooting threes at this point.
No doubt.
First free throw is good for Nikola Jokic. Timberwolves basketball tonight brought to you in part by Sezzle. A 4-point play in the NBA, that's hard, but splitting your next Wolves purchase into 4 interest-free installments with Sezzle, that's easy. Download the Sezzle app today. Terms and conditions apply. Sezzle, the official jersey patch sponsor of your favorite basketball team. They do say it's 3 shots for Jokic, so he hit the first 2. I had Sport Radar do a little work for us with the 3 4-point plays in 1:39 in a 4-possession span of Game 2 for Denver.
That's a good place to ask right there.
That was the first time in postseason history since 96-97 that any postseason team has hit 3 in a game. And 3 1/4, it's the most since 96-97 for any regular season or postseason game. That's a lot of games.
Yeah.
And the Nuggets did it on 4 possessions, 3 out of 4 in a minute 39. Io inside, no. Rebound comes out to Dante. Now setting up Jaden up top. 3-ball, he got one! Jaden McDaniels knocks down his first 3 of the series. 101-84.
Lawler's Law in effect. Minnesota getting to 101. First team to 100 wins 95% of the time.
Bruce Brown driving layup makes it back to a 15-point game with 4:20 left.
I just made up that percentage, by the way. I knew it's 90-something. I just didn't know
It is.
for sure.
I think it's a little, it might be 90. Oh! James goes down the lane and sends a statement to Denver. A ferocious finish from Jaden McDaniels. Time out, Denver. Wow. The crowd just brought to their feet as Jaden split Jones and Jokic and hammered it through.
He threw that on top of Nikola Jokic, and he was saying stuff to the stanchion and then turned to his teammates who were all going crazy on the bench.
Wow, what a finish. Electric. Wolves up 17, 4:10 left to play on the Minnesota Timberwolves radio network.
At Mayo Clinic, we're detecting the undetectable. Using advanced AI technology, our experts can accurately detect signals in the human voice that are indicators of coronary artery disease. We're making more possible at Mayo Clinic because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic. You know where to go.
At Target, we're home court advantage for the hometown sports fans. And with the Timberwolves season in full gear, we're here to help you gear up and make your game day prep a slam dunk. Hear that? That's what you call a buzzer-beating three-pointer for the win. Time to dish up your famous nachos or put a full-court press on some jalapeno poppers. Then serve up some sweet desserts to celebrate the W. However you do game day, we're here for it at Target and Target.com.
One more scoreboard update from our NBA Tonight studios. Again, 2 finals earlier this evening. The New York Knicks erased an 18-point deficit, had a late 3-point lead with under a minute to play in Atlanta, but the Hawks survive. A bucket from Jalen Johnson, followed by a jumper from C.J. McCollum, put them up for good. A 109-108 victory. They've got a 2-1 lead in that series. Game 4 set for Saturday in Atlanta. Also set for a Game 4 Saturday in Toronto, where the Raptors will be looking at a 2-1 series deficit. They got on track with a 124-104 victory tonight at home against the Cavs, thanks to a 36-16 run to close the game. After the victory, here's their head coach.
And we know what he brings to our team, from shooting, from stretching the floor, playing without the ball, cutting, moving. He brings a lot of intangibles to our team. And again, this is not the first time that he played, those spot minutes and then coming in and changing the game. So he did an outstanding job tonight.
That's Darko Rajakovic speaking on former Gopher Jamison Battle. 14 points, all of them in that fourth quarter, as the Raptors cruise to the 20-point victory. Back to Alan Horton and Jim Peterson.
All right, Cal, thank you. 4:10 left to go in the fourth quarter, 103-86. Nikola Jokic has missed 19 shots tonight. You asked the question, Jim Peterson. Sport Radar provides the answer. The most misses he's ever had in a playoff game are 21 misses. That was in Game 5 against the Timberwolves in that first-round series back in 2023. Tonight's 19 would be the second most number of misses he's ever had in a playoff game. And they both come against the Timberwolves.
And Rudy Gobert has been unbelievable defending against Nikola Jokic. It looks like David Adelman's pulling the plug here.
Wow.
Tyus Jones in the game.
Yeah, Jokic and Murray are off the floor. 4:05 left, down by 17. A blown-up dribble handoff.
Hey, Alan,
I'm a little surprised. Like, why? 4 minutes left. I'm making maybe one more push.
Yeah.
Maybe another minute or so.
Just pulling the plug here.
Then why play it all in the fourth quarter? You know, it's just Strother up top straight away on the three.
Maybe he thinks these guys can get him back in the game and see what happens with the second unit. Sometimes you have a letdown.
Deron Holmes is on the floor. Zeke Naji Jalen Pickett, Julian Strother, and Tyus Jones.
How about Jaden McDaniels, 8 of 10 in the paint? I would assume 9 of 10 at the paint. Woo.
Dante, deep three, way offline. It's a 14-point game with 3:30 left. Strother pops on the right side three. Oh, that was halfway down. He missed it. Rebound tapped up by Najee. Goes over the backboard. That should be Timberwolves basketball. Najee tapped it. They're going to give this to Denver.
Rudy leaves the floor. Kyle Anderson comes in. He gets a big ovation and the Rue chant here at Target Center.
Boy, if that three goes in by Strother, this is a ball game. I just feel like still there's too much time left. Tyus will trigger in. Comes to Zeke Najee, top of the key. Looking for Strother, but now Jalen Pickett has it. Against McDaniels. Pickett gets a Najee screen. Switched on to Kyle Anderson up top. 3 on the shot clock. Pickett trying to make something happen. Drives in, scoops up, and a whistle and a foul.
Man, you got to stop fouling now. Don't let him off the hook.
2 free throws here. Makes it a 12-point game.
Pickett was in an impossible situation. And Minnesota fouls it right there. Jaden McDaniels, Kyle Anderson bracketing in. There's no reason to foul him. Make him make that shot.
Free throw, no. Jalen Pickett could make the crowd very, very happy. It's only happened 10 times all season. 2 missed free throws in the fourth quarter to earn free chicken, and Jalen Pickett silences the crowd. 13-point game, 3:05 left to play. This group putting a little more pressure on. Tyus Jones guarding Julius Randle. To the corner, Dante catch and shoot 3 on the way. Off the back iron, no. Weak side rebound. Najee had it, lost it. Deron Holmes scoops it up. Here's Strother dribbling into a left side 3. That's online, but short. Dante's got the rebound. Bulls will take the air out of the ball here a little bit. 2:38 and counting. Dosunmu with it. Left side to Julius Randle. Quick move baseline on Najee. Muscles up and get the lay-in for 2. 14 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists for Julius Randle. The lead is 15 now with 2:22 left to play. Pickett surveys the scene. Right side Strother. He'll put it on the deck against Kyle Anderson. Shuts off pretty blatant and floats it up in the paint for 2. To a 13-point game, trapped in the backcourt. Ayo gets it up ahead to Jaden McDaniels. Jaden now doubled on the sideline, back to Ayo at midcourt. 2 minutes left to play in the game. Ayo to Julius Randle, 8 to shoot, back to Ayo on a run, down the lane, lay up with the right hand, he got it off glass for 2.
2 more points in the paint for Dosunmu. All 10 of his field goals have come at the rim.
Wow. 25 points, a new playoff career high for Dosunmu. Here's Zeke Najee, drives inside. His shot, no, but a whistle and contact will send him to the free throw line for 2 more.
66 paint points for Minnesota in this game. You don't think they took the no rim protection to heart in this game? They were going to prove a point. 66-32 advantage in the paint for Minnesota. Unbelievable.
Bulls had 54 paint points, won that battle in game 1. 52-40 in game 2. And Jim just mentioned the numbers, 66-32 in the paint. And the rim numbers have been just sensational. The Wolves have 54 rim points to 22. I mean, the paint's one thing. You want to go even further. Go micro. And that speaks volumes. You get to the rim in this league and finish like that.
You just look at the shot charts for Dosunmu and Jaden McDaniels. It's all dotted around the rim. So,
yeah, he's 10 of 11 at the rim. Wow. 107-94, 13-point game. 127 left to play. Ayo with it on a run into the paint, right to the cut and the layup. Oh, he missed that one. Julius offensive rebound, and he gets fouled on the putback attempt.
That might have been the easiest attempt that Ayo's had all night long.
I know, he missed it. Timberwolves basketball tonight brought to you in part by Timberwolves.com. There's nothing quite like being a Timberwolves member. Whether you're in for 10 games, 20, or every single home game all season, you'll save big. Get special access to playoff tickets and catch every OMG moment from Anthony Edwards. Explore the membership experience at Timberwolves.com. Free throw, no. One more coming for Julius.
The game, the way it's gone so far for Minnesota, to have this little cushion, the fact that David Adelman didn't press the issue. He pulled the plug with over 4 minutes to go in the quarter. Gives Anthony Edwards a chance to rest, too. Anthony played 24 minutes, by far the fewest minutes in this series so far. So that's a good thing for Minnesota.
108-94. Timberwolves are up by 14. 1:15 left. Tyus on the attack in the lane. Runs up the shot, hits it. Tyus playing on his third team of the season.
How about 3 Minnesota guys on the Denver roster between Tyus Jones, Apple Valley, Zeke Najee Hopkins, and then David Roddy, who went to Breck.
Dante, left wing three, got it. Third three of the night, and that will seal it. 62 seconds left. Wolves up 111-96.
All 5 starters in double figures. Iowa 25 off the bench.
Turnover by Strother. Here's Dosunmu on a lob to the rim. Dante! A dagger dunk again. Pull up three. Tyus Jones, no. Julian Phillips, the rebound. And timeout by Minnesota with 42.1 left. Back-to-back wins. Game 2, Game 3, up 2-1. Saturday coming up quick. Denver at Minnesota, Game 4 on ABC. 7:30 the tip time. Our pregame show coverage gets underway at 7. Wolves with a chance to go up 3-1. Wolves have won 3 straight Game 3s. About to make it 4 in a row. All 3 of those came last year in the playoff run. They won all 3 of their game number 3s.
Wolves have a chance here to hold this high-powered Denver Nuggets team below 100.
Ooh.
This is a team that averaged 122 points a game, number 1 in the NBA. It's pretty amazing what they've done in this game tonight.
They were held under 100 points just twice in the regular season. Both times they only scored 87 points. Home to Atlanta, home to Charlotte. Within a week of each other. That's a bad stretch. So Mike Conley gets on the floor. Joe Ingles and Yohan Berenger will make his playoff debut. Mike Conley against Tyus Jones. Man, that's good guy against good guy.
Well, 2 classic floor general point guards, the dying breed in the NBA, playing against each other.
Mike pops on a 3, comes up short, and the rebound. Yohan Berenger scoops it up. Wolves have it, 19 seconds left. Back to Yohan Berenger. Now Kyle Anderson. Kyle will go to work on Deron Holmes. Pulls up, 16-footer, offline, no. Tip followed by Berenger, no. And the rebound out of bounds. It'll be Denver basketball with 4.9 seconds left to play. Four times last year, Denver was held under 100. The horn will sound here at Target Center of the Wolves. Lose game 1, but they come storming back to take games 2 and 3. A wire-to-wire victory here at Target Center. 113-96 is the final score as the Wolves defense puts its clamps on the number 1 offense in the NBA, holding them to 96 points, 34% shooting, and 25% from beyond the arc. Timberwolves up 2-1 in this best-of-7 series. Dante DiVincenzo is along with us. He joins us on the postgame show. Dante, congratulations first off.
Thank you, sir.
Great game. Let me ask you first off about Jaden's comments after game 2. Did that play any role in how you guys came out and attacked this game here tonight?
I mean, we like to keep the main thing, and that's attacking everybody, whoever's out there. put our head down tonight, attacked the rim, played aggressive, and, you know, got out so early lead.
Hey, Dante, how about Rudy Gobert in this series, how he's matched up with Nikola Jokic, completely disrupting Nikola Jokic in this game?